Hey, what's up? It's your boy Greg Gray, Dope Living TV live. Ah, the views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Having said that, man, look, I love my wife. Ladies, you love your husband, but all you do is fight. I mean, is that cool? What can you do? We're gonna talk about it today, as well as is there a such thing as taking a break when you're married? You're married. You're a couple. All of a sudden, when you're in your feelings, so you want to take a break. Is there such thing? Is that cool to take a break? Um, Also, May December romances. We all over the place today. May December romances. What do y'all think about them? Will they survive? Can they survive? Are they cool? We are talking everything. I love the fact that we're able to express ourselves and get other people to express themselves as well about certain situations, because hopefully we're helping relationships to thrive and to survive. And sometimes relationships can't survive because it's just so much toxicity in a relationship that you just gotta call it a day, say it's over. But we love here at Dope Living TV. We love. So we want to try to enhance and encourage everybody to do their thing. Hang out there, stay in love. Like this guy here, Maurice Bishop. What's up?
Hey, what's that?
Chilling. You know.
Got your sense of gear on today, huh?
Man, I had this actually on in last week, man. So I'm breaking it in. Let's put it like that.
All right.
Breaking it in.
All right.
Everybody say what's up to Gina Gatson.
Gina,
Hey,
what's going on?
got it.
Yeah. We all over the place today, man. For real.
All right.
You just started. How you all over the place?
No, I'm just saying our topics are all over the place.
Okay,
Man.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
I know you are.
Yesterday, hey, Gina, what's going on with that stuff over there, that daggone store? Do we have to go over there and load up, protest that mug?
You know what? I was ready to go out there with some picket signs, and somebody said, "You don't have time."
Let it go, man.
They were
All
like,
right.
"You ain't got time."
Just don't patronize her. That's how you do that.
Yeah, they're gonna
Be
get there.
back. Definitely will not be back.
They're gonna get theirs, and a lot of people did comment on your post, so a lot of people probably aren't gonna go there either.
Yeah, I just don't. I'm.
Yeah, let God drive that
I'm
one.
black anyway. Most of my products come from black suppliers.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
It's sometimes it's limited when you're looking for certain things, and that was a case where I had to, I had been looking for something and I couldn't find it, so I'm just like, let me just run in here and see if they got it. It was just like a random thing.
Did they have it?
No.
No, they didn't even have it. All of that, and they didn't even have it.
All that grief.
Yeah,
Nope.
that's
So,
okay though. Stuff like that, it happens, and they'll get theirs. Trust me, they'll get theirs. And I'm not saying it. I'm not wishing bad on anybody. I'm just saying, when you do bad, bad comes back to you.
right. This
Comes
is
around, goes around.
Yep.
yep.
So it is what it is. I mean, I'm sorry you had to go through that, sis, but you know.
Well, you know what? It's kind of an awakening when we think we've moved so far ahead, and it
Get
just
kicked
tells
2
you that
times
you
back.
really haven't, and it brings awareness too.
It really makes you know how much of a minority we are, because they minorities too.
Right.
You know,
Well, you would think, by us, kicking the door, basically kicking the door in for a lot of minorities, that they would respect it. You know what I mean? That we were there first, and if we hadn't been there in a whole bunch of cases, they wouldn't be where they at. You know?
Mm-hmm.
they don't care.
Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
crazy.
I just don't, I don't like the fact that some people. This is my thing. It was some people that commented and said, "Well, I never had problems."
Right.
I heard that. Saw
Right.
that.
But this is my thing. There are places that I don't patronize anymore because of something they've done to minorities, handicaps, and I didn't know the people. I didn't know the people that they mistreated. But the fact that you did it, I'm not patronizing you anymore. What's the country? What's the place? The restaurant?
Old Country Bucket or something.
No, not Old Country Buffet. I never ate there.
We used to call that Rusty
Bucket. Fashioned, our old fashioned candies, and I can't think of the name of it, but that was one of my favorite restaurants, and I don't go there anymore after I found out all the discrimination lawsuits they had against them, all the way they treat handicapped individuals, handicapped workers, black workers, I'm like, you know what? I didn't know the people, but if you're gonna treat somebody that way, I feel like you treat me that way too.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to patronize an establishment that treats people in that way, even though it's not me that they're treating that way. I feel like you are treating me that way, because if you can treat a regular individual like myself like that, then it does affect me. So a lot of people were saying, well, I've never had any problems going in there, and I've never had any issues, but people don't want to make a change or do anything or say anything until it happens to them. And then they want everybody to join their wagon and not pay and be in their corner. But you didn't want to do anything until it actually happened to you.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons that we get treated the way that we do.
We don't stick together.
It's gonna be a change. Trust me. I mean, it might have to be at the expense of people like yourself or minorities, but there will be a change. And again, we sorry that you had to go through that, but we're here for you. Always here for you.
I know you guys are always there for me, and not upset. She actually stepped to that person who said I was homely, and that's how we acting, Gary. Like, what in the world?
What the hell?
I'm far from homely, baby. I'm far from homely.
No, you ain't.
That's just people who want their 2 minutes of fame,
Yeah.
Right. Hey, and those people that are saying stuff like that and want you want some fame? Come to Dope Living TV. Come on here live. Come on through. We got you. We want to hear your voice, okay? Everybody say what's up to Marcella as well. She just
Marcella
got surgery yesterday.
Hey, Marcella.
He's not on, but she just popped on as a listener. She has surgery. She's doing well. So it's
good.
Let's pray for her. Keep her in our prayers. Man, look,
yeah.
I love my husband or wife, but we fight all the time.
Wow.
What can you do? I mean, what's up with that?
Man, I can't speak on it, tell you the truth, but
y'all don't fight, Maurice?
Sure, we fight, but I mean, we've grown. I'll tell you the truth, man. I've grown out of that stuff a long time ago. I mean, I told you a long time ago when we was talking up here. I mean, we might get into some scuffs, but we know when to just leave all that alone and back up, go to your neutral corners and chill. Because all of that screaming and yelling and going in a whole nother direction don't do nothing. Back in the day when I was younger and stupid, in my first marriage, I mean, we used to argue all the time.
Yeah, I'm a robot.
I could not say that only thing I wish about my first marriage is if I met this woman that I'm with right now, from the first 10 years.
That's happened from it, right? Everybody say that.
Hey, now.
But you know what, Maurice, that relationship groomed you for your wife that you're with now.
I got to believe that. I must believe that. That is definitely a blessing from God.
Mm-hmm.
I saw you the other night. You was like beaming. Oh boy, walked in and gave us look. She went back to 19 years old, back in high school. I was like, what?
Hey,
but, but I think that there are stages in a relationship, and in those early stages, it's kind of a tug of war because everybody's trying to each person is trying to find their place in the relationship, not as far as who's boss or whatever, but there's some differences, and I think there's a lot more arguing in the first few years because you're learning that person, and sometimes some of the things that they do or say or want is different from what you want or do or say, and so there's some conflict there. But I think if you're in a serious relationship, you get past that. You get past that stage. You got your honeymoon stage, then you got that conflict stage, and then you got that, mature stage, and it just grows. That's just the way relationships are. And so when it comes to that, we argue a lot. It really depends on the stage that you're in. Now, if it's 15 years down the line and y'all still arguing 10 years, there's a problem somewhere. You need to figure out what that problem is.
It's a problem. If
you don't figure out that problem, you're gonna keep arguing. It's never gonna end.
Yeah, you can't hold me into an argument for over a year. Everybody say what's up to life coach Jeff Relaford.
Jeff. Hi, Jeff.
What's going on, y'all?
Jeff came on yesterday with that fire, y'all. For real.
I came up with a little something out here. Just a little something.
Fire, man. And we got where you at, man?
Man, I'm out here at Meijer trying to get some things for my baby because she need a lot of stuff. She need a lot of food, actually, because she's hungry. So I'm just trying to throw her down. I came right from work, but I didn't want to go to the Walmart by me. It was too much going on. So I came out to the Meijer out here, out the way.
Man, I'm going to need some Twizzlers, some peppermint stickers, and some
hey, man, I got waffles, oatmeal cookies, eggs, frozen food. I got a whole bunch. I got everything.
Make me put this headset down and go up in the store, man.
Just saying, bro. So
I just want to say what?
What do you think about that? Go ahead, say what you're gonna say.
What I think, I'll comment on what was said about the arguing and everything. I do agree with Gina. You know what I mean? My thing is, it does. What's up, Marcella? And it does depend on the stages that you're in. You know what I mean? When you are learning somebody a little bit more, it takes a minute. Especially when you have when you enter in a quicker relationship. I use myself as an example. I've been with my baby for 9 months, but I knew she was the one. You know what I mean?
You know what? I would have never thought it was 9 months. The way you talk about her, I thought you guys had been together a long time.
Oh, no, it's only 9 months. It's one of those things when you gel with somebody and you come together and y'all support each other. Y'all looking at now. I ain't gonna take away. We had our nice little fair share of arguments, but that's because, Gina, it's because we learning each other, like you said before. But with that comes maturity. Right. So since we have the maturity, we realize we're grown, we're adults. We was talking to each other yesterday. We sitting down watching a movie. I said, and we apologized to each other. We said, baby, you know what I mean? We might have said some things, but you know what? We know where it really is deeply rooted at. And we don't argue all the time, So when two people can come together, apologize for their actions, and continuously work on the inner them when they're with somebody. Yeah. That's what it's about, man. That's what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, look, we got a special guest today. I ain't never seen this chick before, but we're going to let her in anyway.
Who is this? Oh, Jesus. She said she was going to do something special.
By the time y'all get to me at 7 o'clock, all my drag is on the table. So I said, I'm not going to do that before. So this is the way I go to work. I go to work like this every day. So, hello, y'all.
Hey.
This wasn't the same Suzette I saw last night.
Oh, honey, that was a broke down Suzette, honey, because I was tired. Broke down, baby.
You said broke down.
Hey, who did?
That was Suzanne. That's what that was.
Yeah. That was Nail. My nickname is Nail. That was Nail.
Who this is, Harpo? Who this is?
Hey, did y'all hear about this girl from Gary, Indiana that's on the TikTok that's gone viral?
No.
Naquita Janae?
Naquita Elmore. She goes to my church.
Oh, yeah.
No, I have not. Now you're going to make me go to TikTok.
Girl, and she collabed with 100 different people. And it's a guy from Connecticut that's doing something with her. You need to jump on that, Greg.
It's that Go Lay Down.
Yeah. And it was they did it in a jazz version, and they did it in a gospel version, and they've done it in a rap version. So she's going. I hope that they get together and let her make her money. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Hey, we got we got the very famous Chelsea Starling with it. Then that's who you with.
Yeah,
You know,
hey, Whit.
the best
Yeah,
person. What do you call him? PR person
yes,
ever.
she is.
Yes.
She
She
is
did the
everywhere.
PR. She did the PR for our a DAG event at Jay's Breakfast Club. Thank you, Chelsea.
Oh, Chelsea, the truth, man, for real. Thank you, Chelsea, for tuning in. The name of the song, I guess, is "Lay Down."
Go lay down.
Go lay down.
Yeah.
Chelsea said lay down. So see with who you with, y'all. WHITT. See with. Y'all better get. Hey, look, anybody that's out here, and as the show goes on, more viewers will come on. But anybody that's out there, if you have a business and you really need it pushed, professionally. Y'all see Chelsea. Real talk. And we love to promote people on this show. So hey, most definitely. Hey, and shout out to my little sister Sage. Make sure that's Nyla's wifey. Gotta make sure we shout out everybody.
Hey, Sage.
Yeah, say hey to say y'all. But yeah, Chelsea Starling, salute you, girl, no doubt. So Suzette, we're talking about relationships as we always do, and we brought up the point of arguing in a relationship. Jeff, I'm quite sure you're familiar with Jay Cadet, right?
No, I'm not.
Okay, he does similar to what you do. Jay Cadet,
Okay.
I mean, appreciate you and your video that I'm going to show in a minute, but we got our own real talk. I'm only going to play it, but see, we got our own relationship. He's a relationship. He calls himself a relationship coach. You're a life coach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So you do it everything. Everything,
man.
Jay Cadet is a relationship coach. There's a video I'm gonna play in a little bit. Who said I want to get your input on this? You love your husband, but you fight all the time. Can you survive? Is that cool? Can the relationship last?
No, it won't. But unless you're willing to do a little digging, you got to find out exactly, because, like I said before, everything that you choose to be mad about, a lot of times, sometimes I'll say it's not what you do. It's because of something else. It's there are issues that are unresolved, and a lot of times people will take their issues unresolved out on the person that's closest to them. That's usually the way that happens. Like I said before, I love enough to dig to find out what's going on. I love enough to not place blame. And a lot of times too, when people are like that, that happened when I first started. Me and Donnell has learned how I am, but when we first got together, he had a lot of misplaced anger, and sometimes you just need to let people just kind of leave them alone. Just kind of let them be, let them work that out, and when they get through going through what they're going through, then you talk to them. And I can wait like that because I can have stuff to do.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, but for me, and Gina, you said, if you can last through that period, okay, there's different periods and different stages of relationships, and I understand that, okay, but who wants to, and I'm not saying that's what you said, I'm just saying this as a personal comment, who wants to be in a relationship where every other day is something, be it small or large? You try to get the person to understand your side, but they don't want to hear your side, okay? They say that I hear you, but when they retort, when they come back at you, they haven't said anything that you've just said. They haven't heard you, or they haven't understood you. I'll put it like that. They've heard you, but they haven't understood you because they go back to their diatribe. They go back to saying the stuff that they're pissed off about. All right, never caring about what you're pissed off about. So,
your gut would tell you whether or not this person is for you, is truly for you. You'll be able to tell. You can tell by their delivery of what they're saying. You can tell just the you can tell. But like I said, I always try to lead and to talk in love. And if they can't understand or can't receive or can't see that, maybe that's just not the dude for me. And then you just have to keep it moving, and just because somebody will take you at face value.
And I think it has to be brought up too that you're arguing about something, but I think at some point, if you're continuously arguing, the fact that you're continuously arguing has to be brought up as well. You know,
Yes.
you're not understanding each other. You know, if you both are dedicated to making a change or finding out what each other truly feels, you know, it can last through that tumultuous time. Okay, but you are not dedicated to that person, and all you want is your voice heard. It's always about you, me, and you never say us. You know,
Well,
that's the problem.
well, you know, then too, like we said yesterday. I mean, what was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah,
Like we said yesterday, you know, you have a maturity level too that you have to work with. You know,
exactly.
you have a maturity level that you work with. Is you know, are you mature enough for this? You know, are you okay with? I mean, do you? I mean, it's hard to explain. You know, women, like I said yesterday, if everybody would stay in their lane, everybody stays in their lane and do the thing. Let the guys, you know, do guy thing, and you not, you know, it's you can tell if the guy's not really for you, even if you think he is. You can,
Right.
you know the truth.
Yeah, it's about communication,
Right.
making sure that you. Gina, are you frozen?
No, I'm not frozen.
Oh, Gina,
I'm listening because Suzette is making some good points. It really does. It depends on the person. And even though you say you know in your gut that if the person is right for you or not, some people don't. Some people don't know what's right for them because of the things they've been through. And so they sometimes they can think somebody that's not good for them is good for them.
But you know, Gina, look, okay,
Say that
some
again.
people, and you're absolutely right, Gina. But why do people stay, even if you know in your gut that it's not right? Why do people? You know, there cannot be enough stay in me to be with somebody just because I want to be in a relationship. I need to be in a relationship. It's not enough stay in me if we argue.
But everyone is not that strong. Everyone's not that strong. I remember, I don't know, what, 30, 40 years ago with my first marriage. I remember
You're only 41.
I thought she
yeah,
was
right.
25.
Right. Well, I met my first husband in high school, Westside High School. So we were childhood sweethearts. And we were together for 17 years. But when I left him, it was because things were brought into the relationship that I didn't want to deal with and I wasn't going to deal with. I also had a friend that was going through the exact same thing. And when I left my husband, she was still with her husband. I mean, she would come to work. She looked so beat down in the face. She just looked like, you know, you could see it on her face. And I asked her, I said, why do you stay with him? Like, leave him. And she was like, you're stronger than I am. I can't leave him. And so she kind of made me understand that, like you guys say, everybody does not have that strength. Everybody does not have that strength to leave an individual when they know that that individual is not right for them. And she stayed with him, had another baby. And for the life of me, I couldn't understand why she was staying, but she just couldn't leave him. She was not strong enough. She told me she was not strong enough.
You know, Gina, I was married for 23 years. You know what was wrong with me? Why I stayed? I did not have an exit plan. Did not have an exit plan at all. Had no idea how I was going to get out of it. It wasn't like I didn't want to leave. I had no way. I had no way. So what I did was I just went to talk to some legal, and they gave me options and they worked for me. So knowledge is power.
Yeah, but you know,
you take the fear bear off your back, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't have an exit plan either. Like I said, I didn't have an exit plan either. But when things went south, I came up with an exit plan.
Right.
You got to.
Right.
You know, it wasn't like if this happens, I thought I would be with him for the rest of my life. I really did. I thought that would be the person I was going to be with for the rest of my life. And so it was very devastating when that relationship ended. But I had to come up with a plan to get out of the situation. And I think another thing that drove me was my children. Like, I woke up one day, I was in a depression. I didn't even know what a depression was. I didn't even know I was in a depression. I wouldn't even go to work. Like I couldn't get out the bed. And my children I had already taught them, they were young, and I had taught them how to cook for themselves long before this happened. You know, that I just feel like, you know, I need to teach them life things while they're young. They were making their own breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yeah. And one day I said, if I don't get out of this, my children are going to think this is the way their relationships are going to be, supposed to be, because they're going to see me in this type of relationship, and they're going to think that's the norm. And that's what really pushed me.
Right. But you know what really, what did it for me was, I was taking my mom to the doctor, and my doctor and my mom, and, you know, he was our family doctor forever. And I had been telling him about, you know, what was going on with him, you know, with the alcohol, and I didn't know till later on it was drugs too with his old butt. But I didn't know, you know, I didn't know it was drugs involved, but I knew it was alcohol. And I was trying to ask the doctor to help me fix him. And what he told me was, and it wasn't nothing but the Holy Spirit. He told me, he says, I said, doctor, I will do whatever you tell me. Whatever you tell me to do, I said, because I'm tired. I said, just tell me what to do. He said, Suzette, these were his words. He said, Suzette, get rid of him. He said, he's not going to get better. He said, alcohol, he's not going to get better. He said, if anything, he'll get worse. He said, and you have already been through enough. He had a chainsaw in here one day. It was getting ready to get bad.
Did he have a mask too?
Yeah. Huh?
Did he have a mask on too?
No, I didn't want to stick around and find that mess out, but I did. I thought about that, and then I went ahead and I did it. You know, so I went ahead and it was and like I said before, I didn't tell anybody anything. I didn't tell no sister, brother. I didn't tell nobody nothing.
Well, see, here we go again. Now you're feeling bad, and you got this thing coming up, and you know, Jason or whatever his name is coming through, and now you ain't telling nobody.
No, I didn't say anything to anybody.
You don't understand, because that was my situation too, Suzette. It was drugs, and you don't want to involve your family. I felt like this was my problem.
My problem, right?
I'm not gonna go and ask my family or my friends for help, because if I could stay in this relationship daily, then it's something I needed to fix, that I needed to deal with, and nobody else could help me.
Hold up.
And you did not want to hear nobody else's opinion, because they're not in it. They don't see.
Understood. I understand that, but love, you know, I understand love, but let me give you this.
Love. What?
Love. There was a girl that I know.
I'm
not gonna name her name, but she was so in love with the guy that she was with, but he was mistreating her. All right, mistreating her very badly. All right, so one day I saw her, and she was just like, I don't know what to do, because he calling me names, you know, and he hit me. You know, he finally hit her after all of the abuse, the verbal abuse and everything. He hit her, and so and I used to see her when I was flying out of town or whatever at O'Hare and this and that, because she worked out there. So one day I didn't see her there, and I asked the lady who worked with her, you know, where's so and so? She said, "Oh, well, her husband killed her. You know, her husband killed her. You can stay in an abusive relationship, but you know."
Well, my relationship wasn't abusive. I fight back, so there was no hitting. There was no hitting or anything like that. It was just dealing with, you know, I don't know if you've ever dealt with anyone who was on drugs, and it wasn't like it was from the very beginning. It was something that came into the relationship later on in the relationship. Mm-hmm. And so you just what Suzette said, you do everything that you can to try to get that person off, to change that lifestyle that they're on. You can't figure out why they turned to it. You know, it's a lot of things that go on. Is it something, you know, was I a bad person? Did I drive you to this? You don't know. But you think that you're not going to run 10 years in a relationship for better or worse. You know what I'm saying? You don't run from the relationship. I stayed in a relationship for 2 years.
It's not running. It's leaving a situation that you are not comfortable with at all.
Right.
Leave
But
it. Let it go.
again,
But
you have to think of the mindset of the person that's dealing with it. It takes you somewhere else. You know, it puts you in a different state of mind. One, you don't want to feel like, okay, this person, something just happened and I just left. You know, and just like Suzette, I finally went to my mom and I told her what was going on. I'm talking about probably over a year of dealing with it. And my mom was like, well, you know what? Stay and see if you can make a change. And when you decide that you can't, at least you will know that you did everything that you could.
Humanly possible. That's right.
Right. Instead of leaving and then feeling like, you know, well, maybe if I'd have stayed. And that's what I did. And after that second year, I couldn't do anymore. It was affecting my family, my kids. And so I left. And my exit plan, like I said, that's when I came up with my exit plan. I worked 3 jobs. Right. I worked 3 jobs for almost 2 years, because now I'm moving from a 2 household income to a 1 household income, and it's just me.
Well, you were better than me. I wasn't working at all. I hadn't worked for 8 years. The 8 years out of the 23. So I had to really, you know, kind of get it together. I had to develop a plan while I was in it. It wasn't like, you know, but you know what too? I stayed as long as I did because they told me that alcoholism was a sickness, was an illness. Okay. And in my mind, when I got married, I promised to stay and help him in sickness and in health. And that's all I kept thinking about. But that sickness is not the same kind of sickness like what I was talking about, because I was under the impression that I would be the one to end up taking care of him, because what I did was I got all the guts of my house fixed. So in case something happened to him and I had to, you know, take care of stuff, then at least I wouldn't come up on any great big major expenses. No air conditioning, no heater, no roof, no water heater, nothing like that. You know, it'd be something little. But that's why I did that, because I thought he would be the one that I would be taking care of. I ain't think it would be the other way around, because they had told me at the place that he was kind of on his last leg with some stuff, because he was tearing up cars and everything.
And that's what I thought too. For better or worse, sickness and in health. And I was like Suzette. I wanted to stand by my vows. But one of the things that I didn't realize was I was the crutch. I was the crutch. And the moment that I divorced him, the moment I left him, I would say maybe 2 years later, he cleaned himself up, remarried, and you know, and I think that if I'd have stayed with him, I don't think he would have left the drugs at all, because I finally realized I was the crutch.
You got him right. You got him right for somebody else.
Sure. Well, yeah. At that point, he damaged goods. So
look, I'm glad she got him. I'm happy for him.
yeah. Girl, good for you. Good for you, because look what's over here.
So basically, y'all saying it to wait it out.
Well, you know what? In the situation that you talked about, where the woman was being abused, no. Like I said, he wasn't abusive at all. He was a very good father. He was a very good husband prior to the drugs. He was a very, very good person. But no, I'm not going to let any man put their hands on me.
I know that's right, girl.
No. So, you know, I'm just, you know, that's something that I learned. I saw from afar growing up, my uncle beating on women. And that taught me. Didn't nobody have to hit me to teach me. I used to say, I will never let a man hit me, just from experiencing and seeing what he was doing. So he taught me, never let a man hit on you without telling me that, just seeing it.
Right. But like I said, I saw it. I saw it coming up, and I promised myself that when I saw something like that, when I saw the crazy, I'm going to cross the street. And and like I said, I tried. But see, my thing was, I didn't want to leave without turning over absolutely every stone to help him. Absolutely everyone. So when I did that, okay. So now we got to get a plan. So I had to go find a job, and I was blessed with jobs. Let me tell you something. The reason why I know that I did the right thing was because every job I had, the first job I had was everything I asked for, I got. I was wanting to work at a school, and I asked a friend. I said, "Well, do you know anybody work up at the school? Is what you want to do?" I said, "I think I might want to work in the cafeteria." And boom, I'm working in the cafeteria. Girl at church, she said, "What?" I said, "I'm looking for another job." She said, "What you want to do?" I said, "I think I want to push some people around at the hospital." Boom, I ended up working at the hospital. This gig I'm on now, I didn't even ask for it. And it's the perfect job. So that made me know right there that the decision I made about that was right, because I'm sure that a blessing would not have come out of that any other way but the way it did.
And that's great. That's all fine and good. I look, nothing you guys have said was wrong. Me personally, though, and I guess coming from a man's point of view, I got to argue with you every day, every single doggone day. I don't want it. I'm not going to do it. I got other stuff to do. I mean, that's just me. Um, Nyla, did you have anything to say on this?
Hi. Um, can you tell me the question again? Because I've just been listening this whole
Yeah, you
time.
got to be real aggressive too. Lori Ann Smith Brown said, "I did all that with my ex that was on drugs. I stuck with it until I couldn't."
Right.
Absolutely,
Drugs is something else, honey.
absolutely. I don't know.
And see, my thing was I didn't even know. I didn't even know what to look for because I don't drink or I don't smoke, and I didn't even know.
You had that crackish smell.
No, but I thought what I thought was alcohol. It was really drugs. I didn't know. I had no idea.
Now that we're
No.
talking about, you love your mate, but you guys are always fighting. I mean, you cool with that? You gonna stay?
So
I hear
I
you.
agree
I
with
hear you. I hear your mate in
you
the
heard
back.
her.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you heard her in the background.
I didn't name her name. I said your mate.
She she hit one of them two-piece combos in the air when she said it too. But I kind of agree with Gina, like from when she was talking a little while ago about like it depends on the stage that you're in. Because I think that like in the beginning, everybody on the stage is like, oh my God, we're perfect together and this and this. But you're learning each other. And then I feel like you get to like the argument stage because you're trying to configure like your morals and values. You guys are trying to like compromise on things. You're trying to understand each other. You're learning about each other. You're especially also like when you move in together, you're learning the little things that you like about each other, what you don't like, what you like things that you have to talk about and have a discussion about. So I feel like those things, when you're learning, it brings forth arguments. When anytime anybody's uncomfortable and you're growing, it can bring on arguments, but you're growing as a couple. But I don't think that it should last forever. Like you're gonna have your little spats here and there,
Mm.
because you're not always gonna agree. Like there's not always gonna be like happy paradise all the time. But like if you're arguing straight for 10 years and every other day you're telling each other you hate each other, well, that's a problem. Um, and I mean, I know like we went like all the way kind of left and we start talking about like people with chainsaws and stuff. But I also understand from the standpoint of what they were talking about with some people are different and some people like women specifically are some of them like I'm not they've been dependent on that person for so long and then they've never come up with no extra strategy or they got comfortable in just taking being unhappy and then they just like I don't know what to do because they just kind of like lost themselves in the process.
Hmm.
And I don't think that's okay either. Like I think that if you're afraid to talk to your partner about how you feel or if you don't have a backbone enough to say how you feel, like
Backbone.
and things that are bothering you, then
Hey.
Yeah, that's a problem. I think
Okay.
that at some point, some people aren't strong enough, or they don't feel like they're strong enough, or they don't feel like they have any out, or they never came up with anything, or they're afraid to start over. Some people get comfortable, they're afraid of being alone, they're afraid to start over. Some people are afraid they don't have the money or whatever, and that keeps them there, and then they're stuck in this cycle of arguing. I don't think any of that is okay. I think like you got to figure it out. Like you have a brain. Is if you can work, if you have the ability to like utilize yourself to work in self capacity, whether you doing something online, you physically going somewhere, like if you got to be sneaky about it because the person is crazy, whatever the case may be. I think that at some point you have to make a decision for yourself, or like Gina said, for like your kids, and figure
Okay.
something out, or else you're gonna end up like your friend who ended up dead, unfortunately.
Absolutely. So let's get off of this one. Do you all think, Jeff? Do you have anything else you want to say about that particular subject? Jeff,
I think Jeff is frozen.
everybody freezing. I thought it would be me today, but I'm not. Good. We'll get back on it because there's one that I want Jeff to talk. Are you there, Jeff?
I'm back.
Okay. Was there anything else you wanted to say on that subject?
You know, with that subject of abuse and trying to let go and trying to be that person that can actually try to break away, you know, it is hard. I know of somebody who dealt with that personally,
Mm-hmm.
and I was actually with somebody who struggled with that. You know what I mean? I was with a person who actually wanted to go back to their past because that man has such a strong hold on her. And it was something because I knew what the plan was.
Right.
You know, sometimes brothers don't just want to see you be together because they think you may be the one that broke up the happy home, so they don't like you. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I was not that man, you know. It was her choice to leave, her choice to do whatever, and you know, I was the bad guy because I was the next one in line. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So,
Right.
but I ultimately left because I knew that's what she wanted to do, but she wasn't being honest with me. You know what I mean? And you know, I try. It was tough, yo, because I watched somebody kind of fall victim to somebody else's trickery, so to speak. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
something when you see it going down right in front of you. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? And you
Yeah.
want to try to do what you can to help, but then you realize you be like, man, I'm not the one. You know what I mean? It's something that sometimes when a woman or a man goes through that, because there are men, we just don't talk about men being abused by women verbally and different things. It's not talked about, but it happens. So when men or women go through that, sometimes they are scared to speak up or scared to say something. And then you so deep in love, some people think that that's what love truly is.
Right.
Some people get so far and they think that's what love is, and it becomes a toxic situation. So then sometimes, unless you haven't fully healed, it tends to go on to relationship. So some people do self-sabotage. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? They think it's too
Absolutely.
good to be true when everything is going good. You know, oh, how did I end up with this good man or this good woman? I don't deserve this. That's all I want to chime in to say.
Absolutely. So having said that, y'all, is it okay to stick in a relationship that is always arguing and this and that? I mean, to each his own is all I can say. To each his own. And we're gonna. That's enough for that. Look, and Jeff, you touched on this yesterday, so I want to touch on it today.
What are you gonna touch
Okay.
on?
May December relationships.
May, December.
What is that?
May,
Wow.
December. Hold on, brother. Maybe it's flying over my head right now.
Okay.
It's flying over all our heads.
What's the
Okay,
May December?
well, I'm gonna tell y'all. May December is younger man, older woman,
Oh,
older woman. I mean, older woman, younger man. You
I
know,
got a young man.
age difference. The age difference.
Couldn't you
yeah,
put
I'm
that
on.
said that?
Huh?
So what now?
Couldn't you have just said that?
You an author. You're supposed to know stuff like that. Out of here,
Yeah,
bro.
Man, like May, December, you only stay together 6 months.
I can give y'all my little story real quick and see what y'all
Yeah,
think
because
about
Jeff talked about this yesterday. Go ahead.
it.
Jeff.
I was 19 years old, and I was with somebody who was 48 when I
Yeah.
was 19, and I was with her for 10 years, married to her for 3. Yes,
Wow.
10 years with her, married to her for 3, and you know, it was something where, you know, I know the heads always turn and everything like that, blah blah blah, woo woo woo. But as I got older, you know, we ended up getting a divorce, obviously. But the reason for the divorce was a lot of it was the trust a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm a
Right.
young man, didn't think that I could kind of be faithful and do other things, contrary to what her even some people in her family may believe. You know what I mean? I never did anything outside of the marriage. I would go to work, go back home. Yo, I was hustler. I was out here getting it. I was trying to do what I could to provide. You
Right.
know, I saw my grandfather love my grandmother in that way,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I was in love. And I think it's very key to say that this was also what 19-year-old Jeff thought love was at the time. Because now, with the scope of who I'm with now, being at the same age that I am with her, 31 and 32, you know, she's shown me how I can be loved because she adapted to me.
Right.
And I think all it wasn't really the age gap that was the problem. It was
Right.
the fact that sometimes people are dealing with stuff in their past and they can't quite get over that
Right.
or get over how they are. Because I really do believe that love has no age to it, to an extent, you know, because you can't be out here doing everything now. But you know what I mean? If it's something reasonable or if it's something that two people come together and they agree on, once again, within reason, try to make it work. You still gonna go through the same issues. You know, you still gonna go through the same issues. A lot of it is maturity. But that's what I dealt with.
How
And
did you connect with such an age difference?
Oh, now you want to
uh,
talk about it. Now you want to talk
you
about it,
know,
Gina. Oh,
Well,
okay.
we
you
met.
just brought it up. Like, yeah, I want to know. That's a
Okay,
huge age difference.
yeah, it is. And when and be honest, when I met her, I thought she was like, because previous to her, I was kind of talking to somebody who was in their mid-20s at the time, and I was like, all right, well maybe she about 35. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, whatever. You know. But when she told me she was 48, you know, some time had passed. We hadn't really talked about age like that. You know, people always say I carry myself like I'm older. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've had people mistake me and think that when I was 19.
He froze up.
Who froze up?
Oh,
Jeff.
come on, Jeff. Get back on, Jeff.
That was a good. You can make a good point. I just wanted to hear that. Didn't you want to hear that, Gina?
Yes. I've never dated anyone that much younger than myself or even that much older than myself.
Well,
The
I don't.
biggest gap I've ever had was 7 years.
Okay. So
Go ahead
yeah.
on.
Okay, here we go. So people used to think that I was you know, when I was 19, they used to think I was like 30. You know what I mean? Because I carried myself and I talked. So that's what she thought. She thought I was like 30 years old, yo. She really thought I was 30, and I thought she was like 35. So we were sitting down one day, we went out on a little date and we talked about it. It just blew my mind because she did not look like she was 48. Not at all. I'm talking good jeans, the whole nine, all that. I was thrown away, just blown by. We used to work at same job together. And I just was talking to her one day, introduced myself. I said, hey, let's go out to a movie. And then boom, bada bam, and took off from there.
I mean,
It was something that simple.
you know, for me, if the woman has her own, she has her own place, her own car, her own job, and we can communicate on a level that we meet at. If we can communicate that way, then I'm cool with that, you know. But if we can't communicate, you know, she always talking about gym shoes. No, I'm always talking about gym shoes. We cool if we both talk about gym shoes. I'm good with that one. But you know, just gotta be able to communicate. You know, period. She can look beautiful, but you know, if there's an age difference and she's not able to communicate, you know, on we're not communicating on the same level. I'll put it like that. I can't do it. I just can't do it. Gina, you said 7 years?
Yeah.
You were older?
I was older.
Oh, you was the one bringing
But
in.
I dated someone 7 years older than me too. It was a time when, you know, okay, this age group is not working. Let me try an older guy, maybe more mature, you know, no.
You just decided to go just at that point when the one that was your age wasn't working out. You just decided to try something else. Did you go out and seek someone older?
No. I didn't really think like Jeff. I didn't really, you know, inquire about the age group at first. It's a conversation for me. If I have a good conversation, if a guy can have a good conversation with me, it's a conversation with me. I can't stand a guy that looks nice looking, and when he opened his mouth, he's a dummy. I can't do it. So it wasn't really a matter of the age, or I was looking for a younger guy. I was looking for Yeah, so that wasn't the issue. I want to find out. What you say, Nyla? Is she frozen?
Yeah, she froze. She looked hot too. That go back to the first one with the abuse and the drugs, man.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Now we can.
Okay. You're sapiosexual.
Huh?
Hold on.
Okay, I know what that means. You got to explain that, Nyla.
She said you sappy or something like that.
Sapiosexual.
What is that?
I don't know, but I'd like to know.
Yeah, she coming back. Sapiosexual. Gina.
Well, I'm interested in knowing, you know, what that is. I may agree or may disagree depending on the definition.
Hey, Maurice, are you sapiosexual?
I can say one thing. I don't have a type. A lot of times women a certain type of guy I don't have a type. Like I said, it depends on that individual.
Well, you do now because Nyla just ranked you. And so now you have to date only sapiosexual guys, I guess.
Well, maybe Robert's sapiosexual.
You know, I thought I didn't have a type. I thought I had a type too, but he messed me up with that because I never, ever dated anybody younger than me. Never. And when he told me how old he was, I'm like, really? He said, well, I don't date women that's younger than me. I'm like, what? He said, well, I said, how old are you? He said, 50. I said, well, then he was 50. I said, 50? I said, only 50?
Only 50? Yeah, that's half a century. Get that man a pass.
I wanted him to be 55 or 57. He was 50 because
what difference would it have made if he was 55 or 57? What difference? It would have been the same person, wouldn't he?
I don't know.
Yeah, they same generation to me.
It would have been the same person.
At that time, I was 57 then.
Wow, you discriminated for 7 years. Look,
I did. I sure did. You know what? My very first boyfriend, he told me when his birthday was. I said, when's your birthday? And he said, November the 27th. It wasn't but one day. I wasn't going to talk to him. But he was born the year before. Yeah, I said the year before. I wasn't going to say nothing to him.
Yes, y'all picky, okay? Nyla, what's sapiosexual?
Okay, yeah, I was trying to say that Gina is a sapiosexual. I don't know what's going on in my life. But
what's sapiosexual?
Sapiosexual is when you're stimulated by intellectual activity.
That's me.
So I know that because I'm a sapiosexual.
That's
I
me.
can talk to you intellectually, and you're not talking about any I can't talk to somebody who's dumb, like
right.
To be rude, but like
is that real though?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real thing because then you won't be attracted to that person. It doesn't matter.
So maybe I do have a type.
It doesn't have anything to do with your looks. The moment that they start talking, if they're not, if they can't, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're smart. I don't want to confuse it with somebody being smart. It means having quality conversations, being able to stimulate their mind is a turn on. And so it also it translates to your physical and sexual attraction to that person. That's
What
what
you spit out.
That's true.
Remember, we
That's true.
talked about intimacy yesterday in the mind.
Exactly.
Yes,
Intimacy
yes,
Here
yesterday.
is the Rasta sapiosexual.
Yo,
OG.
No, Mark Gray.
I just wanted to check in. I just
What's
wanted
up,
to check
brother?
in with y'all and stuff. I'm out here.
There you go, boy. That's what I'm talking about.
My son's birthday today. You know, that's the one that got killed last year. So we did some balloons that didn't work. Some of them worked. You see it?
Uh-huh.
But can y'all see over there?
Hey, celebrate with the family.
Y'all see over there?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Them all my kids. Wait a minute,
Like
let me
adult
turn the camera around. Can I take
Hey, I hope they're not on no barge or anything. 'Cause you got 15 of them, man. So it might sink.
you see the kids? These are my kids.
How many kids is it?
He got 15
I got grandkids over there too.
and grandkids. So
You got 15 kids?
she says, "Do you have 15
You got
kids?"
15 kids?
No, some of them ain't here, but you know, it's probably one or two friends type and a
No, she
cousin or
said-
two, but
she said she was
these are the
asking.
majority. This is the majority.
She was asking. She said, "You have 15." She was asking, "Do you have 15 kids?"
Oh yeah, I got 15. 15. Yes, ma'am.
No,
Yep.
not in
That's a good
My
old
ex-wife,
Christmas right there.
my ex-wife and my wife here.
All right.
All
We
right.
all celebrate my son's birthday. We at 100
Absolutely.
Acres out here. I'm gonna have to bring y'all here to 100 Acres. Y'all come to Indianapolis. Y'all gonna have to come kick it with me at 100 Acres because it is like real dope out here. I've been coming here for years, but it got like a little bit of everything. It's just crazy.
It looks
Give-
nice.
Give everybody our love, man. You know, we with y'all, okay? Because you're actually kind of what is it? Pausing and doing all of this stuff. Enjoy the family, man, and you know, we're praying for you guys.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm let me see. Hey, everybody, say Dope Living TV.
What's up? Long live TTT! Long live TTT! All day, every day.
All right, y'all. I'm out of here.
Y'all enjoy.
Love y'all.
Later.
All right, OG.
All right, hey man. So yeah, I forgot my nephew. Nephew was killed last year, man, and I guess it's the anniversary. This is his birthday, so you know, my heart goes out to the whole family out there, and yeah, y'all just hold each other, love each other. It's all good. Definitely. Darian Collins says she's a sapiosexual. Okay, I've never heard of sapiosexual.
I haven't either.
Vanessa Biffle says exactly.
There's majority of people never heard of it because nobody's ever took the time to actually.
Because you just made it up, and Darian falling for it.
But yeah, it's basically it just has to do with how you're stimulated. Like there are some people who are stimulated based on like they can get over certain things, but when you're a sapiosexual, like you're the most like I guess you could say like sexiest or like the biggest turn on for you is to be also able to have an intellectual conversation that's stimulating.
You know what's a turn on for me, don't I?
What?
A beautiful lady that can I guess sapio and have on some good Jordans.
To turn on or turn off?
Turn on. That's a good a woman in some nice Jordans and some nice Nikes. Whoo boy.
You a shoe booty.
Yeah, man.
Donnell is 3-inch heels.
She could be a member of the itty bitty titty committee, okay? If she got some nice shoes, nice gym shoes, some Jordans or some Nikes on. Ooh,
No heels?
I don't need no heels.
No? Okay.
He's a sneakerhead.
But I need some heels for.
Yeah, he a sneakerhead. Yeah.
So like anything that got to do with shoes is
I like a classy woman. Like I wear gym shoes with suits, okay, but all of mine are clean. All of mine are clean. So I got one pair of dress shoes. One pair. Lori says no. Darian says she's dated 10 years younger and 10 years older. Both were quality guys, and I know Darian, so she ain't gonna take no lames. Intelligent, physically attractive, and tall, but they were ready for commitment, or they were not ready for commitment.
They weren't, probably.
Yeah, and again, I know Darian, and Darian don't take any lames. Let's put it like that. She don't do lames. She's a classy woman. She's and she's particular about who she's with.
As she should be.
Yeah, as we all should be.
We all should be, right.
So, let me ask you something. We're gonna come back to some of these. All right. Where was I at with my questions? She says we're not ready. Yeah, okay. A classy woman in Jordans. Yes, they're clean. They're clean because she's matching me now. That's what I'm saying. She's matching me. And can I get dressed up in the shoes and all of that stuff? Darren, you've seen me before. Yes, I can do that. But I like my gym shoes. I like to be comfortable. But again, they have to be clean. You're never gonna see me in a pair of dirty shoes. If they're dirty, I'll go get some more.
I think Greg is like meaning like in a time and place. Like if a woman goes outside or like regular attire and she can dress, basically like she know how to dress and she's wearing some nice shoes to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but correct me if I'm wrong, Greg. If y'all are going to like a gala or like a wedding or something, then of course, like if she's wearing a dress with some heels, like that's not.
I'm not gonna wear the gym shoes. I'll wear.
Right, you'll wear dress like it's a time and a place. Like he's still gonna think she's attractive if she wears the heels, but on a regular basis, a lot of women don't need to wear heels on a regular basis. Some do, but not all the time. Like he's saying.
Darian, that is a great question. Okay, and I think, and I'm not talking about anybody else. Yes, I do own a tuxedo.
Very good, very good.
I actually have two.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't wear them except for those very, very, very auspicious occasions. All right, but yes, I do own a tuxedo, and I think every man. I'm not saying anything about anybody else. Every man should get them one. Not necessarily, renting a tuxedo as opposed to buying a tuxedo are two different things. Okay. Everybody say what's up to basketball impresariano Chris.
Hey, why you always introduce me like that?
I'm gonna get you some other titles too. All day long.
What's going on, y'all? Why you always introduce me like that?
I don't even know the word, but I'm gonna use it anyway. Anyway, but yeah, we good, man. Good to see you, brother. Hey, man, look. Here's a question, especially while you're on here too. What's up, bro? Do y'all think it's okay for a woman to propose to a man?
Yes.
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, what do you think?
No. That's that new age stuff.
No.
I'm not new age. I don't see anything wrong with it.
That's that new age stuff.
That's not my generation. That's your generation.
No.
Go for what you want. Go for what you want.
My generation.
I've never seen nobody my age propose to.
I have. I've seen a bunch of them. Especially being here in Vegas, I've seen a lot of them.
I don't see anything wrong with it.
Excluded.
So this is
present company excluded. That's what
now,
I was talking about the other night about guys having a role.
All right, hold that thought. Hold that thought, everybody. Everybody, hold that thought real quick. Hold the thought real quick. Hold the thought. Darian did say, if you don't own a tux, I'm questioning your breadth of activity and self-realization. Trust me with Jordan's about that. I just wanted to get that in. And Roberta Colton said, no.
So this is about the if it's same-sex marriage, then
hey, Jeff, you got to put your headphones in, bro.
That's me.
No, it's Jeff.
Somebody cooking chicken.
There you go. No, Jeff was transferring from the car to the house.
Oh, got you.
It'd be all right.
What I'm saying is, if it's same-sex marriage, then there's no problem with the woman proposing. But if we talking about, you know what I mean? Hey, if we talking about traditional stuff, then nah.
You so stupid. You so stupid.
Hey, my goal for the rest of this show is to try to get Nia to spit her food out. That's my goal for the rest of the show.
Let me ask you, Chris, what do you see wrong with it? Is it because it's
not traditional? It's not traditional.
Okay, why does it have to be traditional?
Why would a woman want to get on her knees to propose to a man? That's not a woman's job. That's a man's job to seek his woman.
Come on, Chris.
She got on her knees.
I disagree.
Well, so let me ask you this, Gina. Did you propose to yours?
I didn't, but I asked him to go out with me.
I mean, that's not a proposal. That's a start of a relationship. We talk about proposed marriage.
Proposal. I said
I've never proposed to a man.
Yes,
I know.
I wouldn't say it's wrong if a woman did propose to him.
Gina, you my big sister. I'd never see you get on the knee to propose to any guy. I don't care who it is.
He like, I don't think you would ever do it.
I don't think you'll ever do that.
Did you hear what I said though? I said I have never done it, but I would not say it's wrong if a woman proposed to.
This is my thing, and then I'm gonna let because Coach Jeff looked like he wanted to say.
Coach Jeff ready. He ready to go in.
Hey, look, he looked like he ready to say something. This is my thing. When little sis Nia, don't beat me up after I say this, okay? Okay, don't beat me up, okay? It's a woman proposing to a man takes away the man's role in a relationship to me.
Come on. You better pray. Let me get you a collar.
Okay,
Let me get you a collar and a pulpit. Let me get you one.
Hold on, dude. Hold on, Chris. Come on, bro.
I mean, I'm just saying that's my whole thing. Like, I understand how we're changing the narrative that women can do the same thing men do, but we got to keep something.
Right. And I'll just say
Jesus, thank you.
I'll say one small thing. When a man asks a woman to marry them, he is assuming the responsibility of taking care of them, because you don't ask for something that you want to take care of. And you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Darren says that's right. That's a rite of passage for a man. We emasculate men by doing yes. Come on, Darren.
Right. Come on, Darren.
Am I the only one on the panel that disagrees?
Yeah, you are.
Can I say something?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Go ahead, girl. I'll let you speak. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, you're not the only person who disagrees. I'm indifferent. I mean, I don't think it matters either way it goes. But I do think that for most men, when they propose, and I think we had this discussion a few weeks ago. Well, not a few weeks ago, like last week. When a man proposes, that's like them making up their mind that they're ready to be committed. And I feel like when a woman proposes, like that's like a man's way of like knowing, because I see it all the time. Like when I watch movies or when I like see videos like on YouTube or whatever, when a guy like YouTube couples, when they decide to propose for a man, they think and operate differently than women. Like for the most part, I watch like a lot of like when Steve Harvey had his show and everything, and he gives like the Steve or whatever, and he gives the advice. Like for women, it's way easier, and I think it comes way sooner for the most part when a woman's in a relationship of her knowing. But men don't mature until they're like 40 in general.
What?
I'm gonna get ready to mute her. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
No, it's like statistically speaking, men mature way.
Wait. Can I ask you a question, sis? Can I ask you a question? What are these stats coming from? Are they coming from black magazines or white magazines?
It's a general statistic, but
Since I'm not accepting that.
Typically, black men actually don't mature until way later.
No, I get you way later, but 40, I can't say 40. Probably 35.
Okay, it's not that far off, dude.
It is that far off. Hey, look.
5 years for a man, Lila, it makes you different.
Dealing with a 30-year-old.
Okay, and
it's two totally different platforms.
This is exactly why you need to be quiet.
But sis, when you finish, I got a question I want to ask the panel. But go ahead, I'm gonna let you finish.
So for a woman it's easier to figure out what she wants. And it's faster for her in a relationship to be like, I want to be with this person, and settle down with that person. It takes men a little bit longer. And so I feel like by a woman asking, it could put that it not that it's like a problem, but it could put pressure, or it could change his mindset. And it's more like solidified and concrete when a man does it, I feel like, because he's sure of himself and his position in the relationship. Because I just remember we had the conversation when Uji was like, when we had the conversation about committed relationship, and he and Suzette made the thing about you when you get on the expressway and you going on a ramp and everything. And I feel like when a man decides to do something, like, he's sure. Otherwise, like, Uji is a special case, but like, if we're using him as an example, he's like, I'm not committed, like, we're not married. So when a man, like, that's him deciding, like, I'm going to be committed to you, even if he was faithful in a relationship or whatever. It's like, I'm not playing games. Like, I don't know, I don't want to say like it's less cheating or whatever, but I just know that it's like a more of a commitment, concrete solidification, I feel like.
I'm gonna let Coach Jeff go because I know he wanted to go left.
Oh, Jesus. All right. We can got it all out. The air was clear a little bit. You know, we would come down a little bit. But, man, I'm going to tell you something. It's like, I'm going to tell you how I would have felt if Megan would have proposed to me. If Megan would have proposed to me and I would never propose to her, I would have felt like it would have been rushed. It would have been like, whoa, how do you see everything going? You trying to move quick, fast. You know what I mean? Because in my mind, I knew I proposed to her after 3 months. 3 months. I already knew. A little over 3 months, I already knew. And I kind of knew, tell you the truth, I kind of knew a month into that she was a person who could be a wife. You know what I mean? That was in her. You know what I mean? The way she just kind of thinks about another person, the way that she doesn't put herself ahead of another person. See, it's a mentality. It's a mentality, yo. And I think what we tend to forget about is, see, everybody want to be so quick to jump the broom and say, let's get married, let's do this, let's do that. But yo, it's a certain mental state that a woman got to be in when she ready. And it's up to the man to assess that in that woman. Because there's a lot of men out here who sit up here and get married to these women and say, I want to be married. Okay, that's what you want. But are you wifey material? And on the man's end too. Is he husband material for you? You know what I mean? Because see, I'm telling y'all, man, this dynamic got to go both ways. But that proposal thing, let that man propose. Let that man make the decision. He know what he want. Gina, he know what he want.
Gina, he know what he want.
And Gina, what you gonna do is you gonna look back on the story. And when you look back on the story of how everything went, you're like, yeah, he proposed to me when we went to this nice bro. You gonna be grateful and happy that man proposed to you. And that's gonna be the story you tell everybody. You got the biggest grin on your face. The biggest grin on your face, Gina.
So you don't think he would have a grin if I proposed to him?
Hold on, Gina. Chris, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Hey, is it crazy to me that every time I see a man propose to a woman, it looks like they're in a park somewhere?
Look, they got a what?
They look like they're in a park somewhere. Every time
Brian McKnight getting ready to come around the corner saying, you know.
But this is the question I want to add. So if the woman proposed to the man, does the man mother have to pay for the wedding?
Hot dog. Come on, dollar bill.
Put your wallet
up. You know what? I'm gonna say something.
Because you know the man father got to pay for the wedding if the wife's getting married, right? The way it used to be traditionally, right?
Yeah, that's the way it used to be.
How many pay for the wedding? You pay for your own doggone wedding.
Lord,
I know right now. Part is gone anyway. Like the tradition that you're talking about, Chris, that's gone. That's been gone a long time, and it's not new age. It's been going for a long time.
And that's why you cannot take that away from men, because so much other stuff is gone. Let the man ask you.
But you know what it is also? I believe it's more when the woman proposes to a man, she's ready to get married.
See, I was Chris.
He's not ready.
When a
Well,
woman
what about
proposes
when
to
a man
she's
proposes
ready
to
to
a
be
woman?
No,
No,
here's the
ready
thing.
to be responsible for
I
the
see what he's
entire
trying to say.
relationship.
Yeah,
Here's the thing. This is what I think. Okay, could be wrong, could be right. Okay, when a man proposes to a woman, that man is ready to get married for the whole nine, and everything is ready. Okay, when a woman proposes to a man, she ready. All right, and he may not be ready, but she's saying, okay, look, I'm not waiting no more. Either you're gonna do it or you're not. Okay, so I'm gonna take the lead and I'm gonna do this. Okay, and this goes right along with Darian's comment, a rite of passage for a man. We emasculate men.
Exactly.
Can I
Stop
say
doing
something?
that. Stop it. What do you want?
Okay, so I was watching Steve Harvey one time.
Oh, Steve Harvey. No.
Okay, but listen.
I like
He's
Steve
on
Harvey.
your side. You should want to listen. He on your side. Okay, so one of the females was on the show and she was like asked Steve, and she was like saying like she's ready to get married and this and this and this, but like she's been with him for a long time and he hasn't asked her. Men operate. I've come to find out that men operate very differently. Like when a man's ready, it's not just that he's ready to like marry you. Like he could be not ready
Now.
financially. Like there's a lot of
That's it.
steps. There's a lot of steps
Mhm.
for a
He ready
man.
to take care of you.
Yeah, like there's a
That's
lot of
right.
steps because he's like a provider. So there's a lot of steps when it comes to marriage for a man, like being financially stable for when you want to have like maybe like a house or like then a family, and then like there's a lot of other things that come up like with him proposing. Also, you mentioned like what if the woman's about married? Normally, like men go based off of hints too, like in addition to them getting like ready mentally and being ready to commit, and then looking at financially speaking, making sure he could pay for this wedding, making sure that he could provide. Also, he's taking hints. Like most women, by that time, she done mentioned rings. She done they've had like some type of discussion. She done mentioned having a baby or something to let him know that she wanted to be with him. So it's more so of him preparing himself, I've noticed, and that's kind of what Steve said. He was saying like those things, and I think that I found that to kind of be true with like some of my like
Those are facts. Those are facts.
But not, but you know what it is though. So you know how when you know the women of today, if you don't do it for them, they're gonna go do it for themselves, and that's what I take from it. And that's what I take from it when a woman proposes to a man, because she's throwing hints towards him that she's ready to settle down and be married. So if he's not gonna,
different if a man proposed to a woman, there's something there that made a man feel like, okay, she's ready, I'm ready, and that could be reversed. It's something that the woman feels like he's ready.
Hey, Jenna, you know what else? You know what else? Men are pressured into marriage also of proposing too.
Wow.
It's not just because like the woman, and she's gonna give you hints like, yo, I'm ready to settle down, I'm ready to get married, and keep doing that, and the guy does it. I hate to say this, the guy does it to keep her quiet for a little while because it's just an engagement. Engagements can be broken off. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what? I don't know, y'all. I still don't agree because I was proposed to the first time.
You know why you don't agree, Jana? Because you've been through a traditional aspect of marriage.
Okay.
And you were traditional.
So with you agreeing to women proposing to men, I'm kind of shocked right now.
Really?
Well, see,
I don't see anything wrong with it. I think it shows individuality, and I think that it would depend on the man too.
Gina, here's the thing. Look, when a man does that, when a man gets down there, you know, he's not saying, okay, I'm ready to marry you today, this month, right now. He's ready to start the plan, okay, with you. Yeah. He's ready to start that
what's
journey
wrong with a woman doing that?
Because the woman is saying, hey, look,
because he's not ready.
Do this right now.
What makes you think he wouldn't be ready though?
Let's make it simple. When a man asks you to marry him, that's his way of saying, I cannot live without you.
There you go, Suzette.
Everything I got. I'm ready. I'm ready to take care of you. I'm ready to make this thing happen and go to the nth degree. That's what it means when a man asks you to marry him. Because if you go back biblically, we are of a rib. You know how they go. So it's got to be him. I mean, every time we go to break the tradition of the way things should be, and we turn them into something that we want it to be, it's never going to work.
I want to tell you something too. That scripture also say, when a man found a wife, he found a good thing, and he obtaineth what? Favor from the Lord. And I'm gonna tell you something. Since I met that little woman, I'd have me a whole bunch of favor, Jesus. I'm gonna tell you something. Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
I give you the sun, the rain, and the moon.
I want to ask everyone on the panel. If you knew of a woman who proposed to her man, you would think differently of her? Would you think differently of him?
I mean, in my mind, I say, "Damn, she crazy,"
and I say, "Dang, he."
I would think it's kind of messed up because
I am crazy.
I would think for her to propose that he wouldn't be ready. If she got to propose, he wouldn't be ready. Because what if that man? Let me tell you this, Jada. What if you propose to that man and he tell you no?
Come on.
Well, what about if he proposes to the woman and she says no?
But normally, if a man is gonna propose, it had to be hinted in some type of way. I don't know a lot of men who sat up here and just got down on one knee off of a hunch. It's because it had to be talked about. It had to be something that was cultured, kind of nurtured a little bit. Because as a man, I ain't about to hop in no marriage and we ain't talked about it. See, we talked about some things. We said, well, what about this? What about that? Blah, blah, blah. We felt the connection. We knew it was there. Marriage was just the next thing for me to top off on the list so I can go ahead and solidify this woman for life. You know what I mean? See, I was ready and she was ready.
When he proposes, he's ready to be married. When she proposes, he's ready now.
Well, I said no twice.
And more often than not, when he's the one that does the asking, me personally, I think the relationship has a better chance of working.
I don't think so.
I do.
Gina, she get on her knees to propose. Okay, she didn't put the pants on. Okay, he got the panties on. Okay, let's go, man.
See, that's what I figured. That's the thought that you have. That now the woman has the pants on, and he has, and that's not the case. That is not the case.
Hold on. Do you know anybody? Do you know any women that have proposed to men?
No, I don't.
With a high voice.
No, I don't.
Because
but if they did, I would not think.
She get down on her knees and say, "Hello, will you marry me?" And he said,
I would not think anything of it. I would not feel like, oh, she shouldn't have done that, or
Jana,
it shouldn't have went that way.
Jana. Hey, Jada. So at the wedding, do the mother give the guy away? The guy walked down.
It'll still be the same type of. So let me ask this question then: if a man proposed to a woman and she said no, and then when she was ready, she turned around and proposed to him, that would still be wrong to you?
Hey, Jana, 100% fact and sure that if a woman says no to a man, that relationship is over.
It's done.
That's not true.
Gina.
I was proposed to 3 times in my first marriage. I was proposed to 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't ready to be married.
Okay, but when you said no,
when
you said no, wait, I got a question for you, Jenna. When you said no, how much longer was y'all in the relationship?
We continued. We finally got married when I was ready.
But that's different. That's the same person. I'm talking about different people.
Well, I don't understand the question then.
So my question is, go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
He said what he's saying is, you said you were proposed to 3 times, right?
Right.
Okay, so the one you was with for 10 years, but what happened to the other 2? He wanted to know about the other 2.
That was the same person.
That's what I'm saying. It was all the same person, Jeff. So it's a different aspect.
Oh, yeah,
so she was supposed to 3 times by the same person.
He was patient. He was patient.
Yeah, you tell me no. I'm like, yo.
I think you should respect the fact that someone is not ready. I think you should respect that because if I say yes and I'm not ready, it's not gonna work.
You just said it yourself.
But Jana, but it goes back to what Jeff said earlier. Even if you did say yes, y'all wasn't getting married over the weekend.
And that's that was my point, Chris. You know,
I didn't want to get married in a year or
Well, if a
2
woman-
years.
But
Like
see,
Okay. I mean, I
I
know
wasn't gonna
people.
say yes. I was not gonna say yes, and I was not ready for marriage.
at that time she didn't know. Y'all just said y'all just put a double standard on it because you just said the man, if he's not ready, like we just discussed this, if he's not ready, if he says no, she wasn't ready, so she said no. And if she would have said yes, regardless, that's like the same thing. Okay, if a woman proposed to a man
no.
or whatever, and the man says no because he's not ready or whatever the case may be, well, you're not getting married today. It's the same concept. If she,
But even if you're not gonna get married today or next week,
but she wasn't ready. Maybe she
But
didn't.
why would I say yes?
Right.
because
Answer the question, Gina. Are you married to him now? The one that proposed to you 3 times.
oh, you
We were married for 17. We were together. Well, 10 years we were together. We were married for 7 years. That's my first marriage. That's
She didn't ask you that. She
was
said
my first marriage. No, I told you why I left him. I divorced him because of drugs in the relationship. I thought I would be with him for the rest of my life. But at the time he proposed, I was not ready for marriage. And I was not going to say, yes, I'm ready for marriage when I was not.
right. You're right.
Okay, calm down, Ray Ray. It's gonna be all right.
Because I can give you, okay, because I say this.
This is the thing with me. Maybe I don't have this traditional thing down pat because I feel like people make a big deal when a man asks a woman to marry them. It's like, oh, great, congratulations. And the woman is, you're great because you got, I don't feel like that. Like, why do I have to feel like I'm a great, it's such a great thing that a man asks you to marry them.
Because he's showing you that he respects you enough.
But why isn't the man put on that same, giving the same hurrahs and hoorays? Like, it's like you.
But he is in a different
man
way
has to validate you. That's
But
how
Gina,
I feel about
but
it.
Gina,
That's
it's a different way that the man gets validated when he makes his decision. It's a different way. See, when a man goes ahead and proposes to a woman, guess what? The girls, y'all all like, oh my God, I can't believe he did this, all this. But then when a man talks to his fellas, he be like, hey, big dog, I'm about to make this decision, man. I really want to be with this woman. I want to be with her. He gets his congratulations too. You know what I mean? See, but the thing is, stuff is just celebrated differently. We see all this shit in movies. Oh, I cuss. Sorry about that. Y'all know I don't know the cuss. But we see you see all this stuff in movies. You know what I mean? That's well, there you go. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, throw it down. So you see all of it in movies where the women always celebrate. See, that's Hollywood, and they don't really show the behind the scenes of the male.
You know what, Coach Jeff? I feel like they make such a big thing about it that a woman, she desires to be married. She desires to have a husband. Why should we desire to have a husband? Why should we desire for a man to ask us to marry us? That's not going to make me a whole person. I'm a whole person regardless.
I got you some. I got something for that. It's not the fact. I think we focusing so much on the fact of the desire to get married. See, that usually comes later on. It's like this. My boy, me and my guys, we talked about this same very subject. And he said, when you young and the little girl's playing around, I'm speaking for about 90% of little girls in this country. They playing with the Ken and the Barbie doll. They got the house.
And they get married.
They playing marriage. Exactly. They playing house. The whole thing. So it's really something that's really thought about from when that young girl is at the age of like 3-4 years old, and it manifests as she gets older. You know what I mean?
Said that because I was just about to say that that's something that's been planted though.
And I was getting to that, and that's what I was gonna say. And that's what I was gonna say.
Little girl or 5-year-old, whatever, when girls are younger and they're playing with Barbie dolls or they're watching movies, that's something that's been planted. That's something that is told by moms. That's something that little girls grow up hearing, that you're gonna get married or you're gonna have your fairy tale Prince Charming. Like, that's something that's planted. So when Gina says why should they desire that, that's not something that's a decision that's what she desires. That's something that's been planted since she was a little girl.
And I was gonna get to that.
Inevitably, that's what's going to be in her head, but that's not necessarily something that
just comes along naturally. That's something that's repetition. Every single princess finds a Prince Charming. Every single, whether it's Aladdin, whether you're looking at Snow White, whether it's Sleeping Beauty, whether it's Cinderella, that's
Whether it's Tom and Jerry, go ahead.
shut up, Greg. That's something that's planted for a woman, and it's talking.
It is.
Oh, but it's not the same for men. Women, little girls, and I don't know if y'all are.
It's
gonna
planted in
understand
a
that
different way.
because
It's planted in a different way.
because you guys are not men, so you never experienced it. It's very different for.
But that's it's
growing up.
yes, it is, and it's different because we are two different genders. So let me tell you something. I used to sit down in the backyard, talk to my grandfather, and my grandfather used to tell me how to treat a woman. It's different.
Absolutely.
It's different. We have to understand that a man can't be a woman. Now look, don't nobody get offended. A man assumes the role as a man. A woman assumes the role as a woman. There are just certain things that come with feminism. There are certain things that come with masculinity. Now, there's nothing wrong with Gina questioning that. There's nothing wrong with her questioning that. But the thing is, it's just the way everything is. Feminism is one thing, masculinity is another. See, we in this new age mess, man, where now we trying to commingle, blend everything together, blah, blah, blah. Woo,
And bring in
woo. And I get it. Women can do things like men, but now in this new day and age, we see a lot of women trying to do the role as the man.
Yep.
See, girl, I'm telling you, when I talk about this, I get passionate about it because it's like, yo, let a brother keep something. Let a brother feel like he can be the protector and all that other stuff. Let a brother feel like that he can be the one that when he makes that decision, he can go ahead, provide and do and everything.
I agree with you 100%. Even in my relationships, the man has always been the head. I've never tried to take on that role and wear the pants. I've never felt that, but I feel that it shouldn't be, a woman shouldn't just feel validated because a man asked her to marry him.
It's not the question of being.
It is because think about women that aren't married. They get asked, well, why aren't you married yet? Or, we need you to get married soon. You're going to be old maid. And that's how women were brought up. We were brought up. If you weren't married by a certain age, you're a
spinster. You're an old maid.
And you are brought up brought up as a young girl that you grow up and you get a husband, you get married. And I just never, I have been married. I've been married twice and I'm engaged now. So I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with marriage. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that when a woman is proposed to and it's this, oh yeah, she got a man. She got a man that's gonna stick around. It don't sit well with me.
I don't know what parties you've been to.
Could I ask you a question real quick, Gina?
Hey, let me read what Darian said because it's important. Men teach boys how to treat women in model relationships and marriage, for women. But the order now, it's messed up. I agree with her. Go ahead.
I got a question for Gina real quick. So when you finally said yes to marrying your husband at that time, how long were y'all together before y'all got married? After the engagement? No, after the engagement.
After the engagement? How long were we together?
Yeah.
7 years.
Before y'all got married. Before the wedding.
He proposed. We were married within a year. That following year. And we had a traditional wedding. We were married in a church. It was a whole traditional thing and it was nice. But it's just and then on top of that, I think it's crazy. Women want to plan these big gigantic weddings and spend $10,000 and $20,000 on this one day. I think that's absolutely crazy. But that's me. Like I said, I just don't have this traditional thing down packed yet. I'm like, take that $10,000 and put a down payment on y'all a house.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I agree. I spent almost $11,000 on the wedding so far.
And most people do but why?
Hey man, we gonna roll our ass up to the justice of the peace. I'm gonna pay $39.99 again. She gonna say I do. I'm gonna say I do.
And we going.
Hey,
And
my house,
yeah,
my house big enough. We can have a wedding in my house.
There you go.
But
yeah, I did that at my
well,
first
y'all
marriage.
agree with me on that one right there. But
I
you
agree with
see
you
it
on
so
that one.
often, and it's
Well,
like a big celebration that a woman has been asked for a man to be his wife. And so let's go spend all of this money and invite 150, 200 people, and it's crazy. It's
well,
But
crazy.
you know why? But you know why it's like that? Because that's pretty much what Naya said earlier. It's traditional. It's pretty much a princess becoming a queen. So you want to have the queen lavish style wed.
You know
That's
what?
Exactly.
pretty much
well, I did.
that's pretty much how we were. That's like that's pretty much how we say program, quote unquote. That's pretty much
Oh,
how we
I missed that program.
I mean, I agree. My first
Oh,
wedding, we
everybody say hey
spent
to
a
Marie.
lot.
Hey,
Very
Marie.
funny. What's going on, man? My first wedding, we spent a lot of money, big church, all that other stuff. Second, we got married at the house that we were in together. We got married in that house.
Guess
Invited close
what?
family.
My
That was
first
it.
marriage, we got married in the house. The pastor came to our house and married us. I didn't want that big lavish. It's a front to me.
Well, the second wedding,
Oh, it's a show.
yeah.
Well, my thing is, if I ever get married or whenever I get married, the first wedding is gonna build off the first wedding. Every time I renew my vows, it'll become bigger and bigger.
Huh?
That's how I
You
do
know,
mine.
Yeah, I
Dang.
like that. You
Good.
celebrating
Yeah.
you're celebrating the fact that it's still a union.
Every
Exactly.
Yeah.
you
Because
renew.
I have
Let's do
seen
that
weddings
again.
like that, and within a year they were divorced.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's true.
they know that these are the stats in marriages. If you can make it past 5 years, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna last for a little.
no, I don't know.
Mm.
Oh, I did 4
Hey,
times.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm
most,
gonna say
I
this.
did time in prison 4 times that 5.
I'm
Right?
gonna say this. When I was actually with my first wife, I actually viewed us as being married with no paper.
Mm.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
mm,
that
Now,
Common law marriage.
wait,
I'm just
man.
saying. I'm just
Common
saying with
law.
the
It was mine was like that too. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Because
what do go ahead, Joe.
I'm gonna just say because I was real big on just trying to. I was real big on discovering origination and looking at how it was viewed in the beginning. I want to see how, if two people come together, is that enough for the backbone? Because I always said we put so much weight on just a piece of paper, just a piece of paper,
Mhm.
Wow.
that we tend to forget of the core comment. I love it, brother. We tend to forget that when we look at everything, it's a spiritual side of it as well. See, we always I get the legal stuff. That's just legal stuff. But you know, there's also wills and other stuff you can do too, and other things that you can do legally to curb that. But I wasn't trying to get off that. I was just trying to mainly say, because we put so much emphasis on that paper, I think that's a big thing we look at too. Not more so the foundation and the core of the relationship and what actually brought us together. But we get to that point where we say, well, how come y'all ain't married yet? Well, technically, you kind of living that way. And spiritually, there are some people who don't look at it spiritually. They just say, as long as you got a paper, then you married legally. But I get the legal fact, you know. Christ said, let those things belong to Caesar, belong to Caesar. Those things that belong to God, belong to God. So guess what? It's a piece of paper that's Caesar's. That's all the government stuff. That spiritual entity that brought you and that person together, that's that bond that comes from you and the man upstairs.
There you
You
go.
know?
There you go. Roberta said it's supposed to be forever. That's why people spend so much. People used to celebrate marriage and bring lots of gifts and money, but not so much these days. I'm not going to be that guy that, you know, I'm private anyway, okay. But a lot of people want the doves flying and the flowers.
Yeah.
Man, if I get married, I'm gonna release a parakeet, all right. And
My man said a parakeet.
Shut up, Chris. I'm gonna throw some flower seeds out, man. You know, y'all plant the flowers. I'm good, all right.
Flower seeds.
You know what? A long time ago, a guy told me when I was in my 20s, we were having a conversation similar to this one. And what he said stayed in my head and it made so much sense. he told me, he said, when women get
Damn, hit it so
married,
strong.
when women get married, he said it's mainly is for women who have never felt they've had enough attention brought to them, and that's why there's the big wedding. That's why there's everything going on, because she's never had that attention drawn to her. Now, the day after the wedding, she can't tell you what happened the day after or the day before, but she can tell you everything that happened on that day, because that was the day that all eyes were on her. It was all
Okay.
about her. It was the hair, it was the nail, it was everything was about her. That's why come a lot of times you find people that kind of stuff is not important. The big wedding is not important. It's because they've lived their lives accordingly, where they have meant something to somebody.
I'm not gonna go to the
Yeah.
wedding. It was all about her. It's her day. You can do it yourself.
Yeah, but if we go back to what Jeff said, where this is spiritual and the man is proposing because he's decided that this woman is going to be with him for the rest of his life. Why do we have these prenups? Why do we have individuals?
I love that comment. Let me tell you why prenups.
But you know what's crazy? But you know what's crazy about that? The prenup comes into play because the marriage license is basically a private contract.
Exactly.
So if you have a contract, you have to any business form, because that's what a marriage is a business. Now, I mean, since the 1630s or something like that, it became a business other than people getting married because they was in love. And it was a lot of interracial marriage of white women and black men getting married.
Hey, the comment here from Darian, it says, "Don't be fooled. Women spend all their lives with a man. He dies, and they're not protected legally and financially. Bullshit. You gonna marry me? I'm with you 25 years, common law, and I get nothing when you die. Yeah, I feel
that's what I'm saying. That's why, because that's what it used to be. It used to be the common law situation.
Yeah,
right.
That's what it used to be.
And it became a contract in the 1600s, with it being pretty much marriage, divorce. You get what you get.
And see, Darian, all I meant, Darian, was I'm sorry. What you gonna say, Maurice? Go ahead.
Also with the priest as well, right?
Yeah.
Ain't that right, Chris? You know, the priest they couldn't get married because they couldn't get, and that's the reason why they couldn't get married, because of the belongings of the church would transfer over to kids and wives and things, and there was a lot of assets being moved. So they said no more marriage for priests. You have to be celibate.
And to speak on what Darian was saying, it was more Darian. I was more so focusing on the originality of it. Not saying that what we got now is what we got now. You know what I mean? We ain't reversing that process. We ain't taking it away. It's gonna be very hard to remove that process we have now. So I'm saying, don't just totally give up on the fact that what we got now and just call it BS. All I'm saying is, look at how everything originated, and cherish the relationship, and know that it's something greater that brought y'all together, rather than focusing on a piece of paper or waiting on the marriage day and everything like that. Because guess what? If both of y'all actually agree on that, then I believe that makes a much smoother transition. Y'all can have the discussion of wanting to be married, make the decision together to say, hey, are we gonna have a big wedding? We gonna make a small one? We gonna celebrate this together? We gonna just have something small? Well, we don't want nobody there. We just want to be with each other. That's the main focus I was on.
That's the way ours was. That's basically we wanted something really,
Well, I've been downgraded a whole lot from what I wanted.
Hey, Darian says marriage is a spiritual, financial, and physical contract. Plain and simple.
I saw myself with about 300 people, and he was, I ain't doing that. I said, you don't
300? Oh my gosh. I don't even know 300 people.
I do.
That's right. That's facts what Darian said, though.
Yeah, again, she says marriage is a spiritual, financial, and physical contract. Plain and simple.
Contract is not in the Bible.
One more thing is mental.
Yeah,
mental.
But does that contract say that a man has to do the proposing?
Here we go.
See, you want to know why we ask all these questions? Because, see, we like to put what we got in now and relate it to what it was back then. Back then, there was no contract. See, back then, there was no agreement written and all this. back then their focus wasn't really on that. So see, we have a lot of
Procreation.
conflict right now. Procreation, different stuff like that. And the thing is, we have a lot of conflict because we trying to mix that of back then, which was totally different from now. So
Right.
we trying to link gaps and connect dots that don't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So now
Right.
this is like I said yesterday, y'all. I said in order to understand and have a little more peace about everything, you got to understand originality. And then if you understand originality, then you respect it a little bit more. So then it's no problem to go ahead and follow the stuff that we got now. Like I say,
because
it ain't nothing wrong with what we doing now. But people just abuse it.
Yeah, that's fact. I mean, you know, it goes to the fact of like the I'm not saying it was a contract, but we use it as a law. That's what I'm gonna use it as.
Okay.
As far as the Bible goes, you know what I'm saying? Because you know how it was. I believe it's Genesis 2 when they say, therefore, what did it say? Therefore, a man leaves his mom and father to become
leads unto his wife.
Leads onto his wife to become one flesh. You know what I'm saying? It's a situation you have to go through to become husband and wife. It wasn't like the contract is the licenses that started in the 1600s.
There you go. That's what I'm trying to say with Darian. See, Darian, that's what I'm trying to say. Contract, I'm talking about paper. I'm not an agreement. Two people can have a covenant agreement with each other. That's not a contract. That's two people that are equally yoked on the same page that are going in the same direction. But then you solidify when you have paper involved.
Yeah, because I mean, if we talking about in 21, I think it's 21. So just say 30. In 2130, it'll be 500 years since marriage license has been a part of the world.
See,
you know what I'm
there
saying?
You go. My man coming with the history and the facts.
That's what we know. That's what we know. So
You say
so I mean,
year 2130.
If by time 2130, I know it was 1630. I don't know the exact last number, but I know 1630 something is when marriage licenses came into play. I know that for sure.
All of these great.
Yeah, well, in the 1930s is when the diamond ring, the engagement ring came into play, and that was a marketing strategy. That was a marketing strategy.
The cubic zirconium.
But see, you know the thing about licensing just coming forth, and when the government got involved, like it became two different things. I don't know how long the Justice of Peace been around, but you know it started from the licensing, then it went from the government getting involved after that. You know what I'm saying? Because basically it's like I said, a partnership. It's a partnership that you agree on once it became legal as far as contracts, licensing. I ain't gonna say contracts, Jeff. Licensing came into play for you to be married.
Didn't that all have also have?
But
Darian,
go ahead, Reese.
It's like you put yourself in the dotted line. You sign contracts to buy cars, contracts to buy homes, credit cards. You don't want to enter into a contract with me, the most important being in your life. I mean, and I feel her on that. You don't want to, and in the context,
but that contract that she's talking about and stating about is the marriage license. That's the contract.
In that context, yes.
Didn't also the government, when they got involved, they wanted to make sure that the bloodlines weren't crossed.
Exactly. That's the government got involved. Exactly.
I'm sorry, I got another computer.
They want you to be marrying your cousin, your long lost cousin.
Yeah.
Okay, so hey, is it okay? Is it okay to marry your fifth cousin removed?
What's removed?
No.
Drop.
I'm not marrying no cousin. It'll be the 10th cousin removed.
What does that mean? Removed? What does that? What is it removed?
I don't know. That's what I heard. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, no.
I'm finna look it up here.
It's not cool. Hey, look, once you get into the bloodline, what Maurice was talking about, if y'all take a blood test and they come back y'all related, they're not gonna marry you.
That's the reason why they do the blood test too.
Yep.
Hey,
So
look, I want to read something to y'all when we were talking about femininity, and so let me read something to you. Hold on a second. Let's see how I did.
Well, Chris, they do it in Utah.
They showed
you know, Utah is a Mormon state too, so you can have multiple wives also.
Right.
Okay. This thing says your femininity is calling. It says women. If you spend the majority of your life in your masculine energy, meaning giving, leading, protecting, making decisions, planning, strategize, etc., when are you honoring your femininity? What are you doing to cultivate a healthy relationship with the feminine aspects of yourself? Sensual, loving, sexual, feeling, intuitive, receiving, openness, flowing, etc. When you allow the natural energies to flow in harmony through your system, you create inner peace and align with your highest source.
Okay, I feel you. Darian says, "Hey, Maurice." Darian says to stop it with the government interference. That has never stopped a man who really wants to marry a man.
What you mean? A man that wants to marry a man. That has the reason we have. Now you don't kill me. The reason we have same-sex marriages is because of the government.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
And Suzette, thank you for that reading. All right.
Oh, you might
have. Hey, I read it as it was said. She meant a man who really wants to marry a woman. Y'all good with that? I read it like it was said.
The government only comes into play. Oh, my bad. But I mean, the government only comes into play on it, like I said, of you not marrying your sister.
I mean, okay.
You know what I'm saying? If you not marrying your sister, that's when the government comes into play.
I wouldn't want to marry my sister because I ain't got one. So,
you know, this guy that told me
my sister would look like my brother, and I'm not. I want.
I mean, you got sick people out. You got sick people. But you got sick people out there like that, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
There was a guy that told me at an oil change one time. He talked about how minute you're born, you are under the rule of law. You know, from the time you leave the hospital, because before you leave the hospital, you get Social Security number, and you are in the system right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought about it like that.
A lot of people do.
There, they can track you.
It's something else, man. This world is just different from the way it was. So the fun, the excitement to me really has been taken out of all of that whole situation. Jeff and his fiance, they're gonna bring it back. They're gonna bring the fun back. I already know. But
well, you know what's crazy, bro? What's crazy is that in air quotation, this is supposed to be the evolution of us moving forward.
Huh.
Wow. Of everything that's going on now. Which I don't believe it, but that's what people say it is.
I'm gonna tell you something. There's a shit that's happening. No, there's something that's going on, and I see it as a lot of eyes are being open, a lot of different things are being said. People are coming to realize and see some things, and it's either gonna be a lot of people are accepting right or wrong ways to do stuff. A lot of people are looking at cultural norms that are causing divides and speaking up on certain things now. So there definitely is a shift that really has taken place within really the past couple years, hardcore, yo.
Right.
With the younger generation really talking and speaking. So, and me included in that generation, pretty soon I'm gonna be a part of that shift in a way, which I'm announced on Greg Gray's show, DopelivenTV.
Yes, sir. I'm waiting. Hey, Maurice gave us a definition, man. He said about the removed. Suzette, is for you. This term describes the relationship between cousins across different generations. Cousins who are once removed have a one-generation difference. A first cousin of your father is your first cousin once removed. First cousins once removed share anywhere from 220 to 680 centimorgans. What are those?
I'm looking it up right now.
That's
I knew that was going to be the question. That's what I'm
After,
looking at.
wait a minute,
So I
Pappy
went-
on
I went-
today.
But you know,
I went ghost because of that. I'm like, woo, man. I mean, because I know that's going to be the
but
next.
you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy about that whole situation? So say you're in, just say you were in school and you found somebody that you didn't know was your cousin, and you used to like them, and then you find out they were your cousin, and you like,
And that's the problem with these days. People don't know their relatives. They
exactly.
don't know their relatives, and so they don't know if they're marrying their cousin or not.
that happened
Yeah, I
when
bet.
I was
That's crazy.
my
Okay.
cousin.
I keep my family connected. We have our family reunion. My mom made us go when we were children. I made my kids go. I want you to know if this is your cousin. My son was in class West Side with his cousin and never knew that was his cousin until one day we had a big dinner. And she was there, and he was like, "What are you doing at my grandmother's house?" And she was like, "This is my aunt's house."
Wow.
You know what's
Yes.
crazy? Hey, look, I've been through that too, and I didn't find out like this was like my best friend. Like we used to hang together and everything. We used to go over his house, drive to his house, chill with his mom's, everything. His father is my cousin, so which made him my cousin, and I didn't know that until one day. I'm picking my mother for work. I have to drop my cousin off. His father is outside washing the car, and my mother get out the car, be like, "Yo, what up, cousin?" I'm like, "Huh?"
I didn't know we had a bunch of freaky Jason stuff going on here.
No, I'm talking about this is like my homeboy. Like we, like pretty much rapped, did everything, played basketball together, all that. Didn't even know he was my cousin.
My father used
Did it change anything?
No, we just like now is other than yo, what up, homie? It's like yo, what up, cuz? It's the same thing, bro.
when I was in high school, my father used to always ask me about who I was dating or whatever, you know. And I was like, dang, why he care about that? So one day I told him, he said, well, what school did he go to? I said, he go to Roosevelt. What was his name? His name was Henry. Oh, okay then. All right. Well, kind of found out when I turned 35, this guy called my brother and told my brother that he had an uncle that had gotten drunk and told him that he was thought that my brother was his father. And long story short and all that stuff, that dude lived 35 years before he found out who his father really was, and it was my dad.
Wow.
Wow.
And that's why my dad wanted to jump, because he did go to
Wow.
Hey man, look, it's 8:58. We got to get up out of here.
Wow, I didn't realize it was even that late.
Hey, we ain't got to get up out of here. Hey, look, we ain't got to get up out of here. You choose to get up out of here.
Hey man, you ain't have to do that.
I'm just saying, bro. We ain't got to get up. We having a great conversation.
Well, all of you guys are coming to the wedding.
It's what
You guys
happened
will
last
be at
night.
the wedding. I did not propose to Robert. He proposed to me.
And big bro, you know, I ain't been on here in a while. Ain't no telling when I'm gonna be back on here, bro.
Huh?
I ain't been on here in a while. Ain't no telling when I'm gonna be back.
Ain't no telling when I'm gonna get some sleep either. But
my bad. Yeah, I don't play when it comes to sleep because I got to get mine in too. So if we got to get off because of that, I totally agree with you.
But you know, I did want to play this one video from this guy. His name is Jeff Cadet or Jay Cadet or something like that, and it was talking about this is a bill. I don't have bills. He was talking about, and I got two of them, but I don't want to play them both. One is how to stop having arguments in your relationship. And the other one is 5 different types of what I want to call it, not disagreements, but what's the word I want to use? Hold on, let me get it right. Go ahead.
Hey, Naya, where you get all that hair from?
I got some hair. I got
disrespect.
From my scalp, my man.
Where you get all that hair from? Every time I see your hair up. Every time I see your hair up.
I know. I took it down.
No,
that would be the answer. Right there. Hey, you can cut that off.
Did Suzette say where you get that hair from?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't never seen it with all that hair. Like, where all that hair come from?
I said I got hair like that downstairs.
She got some of that downstairs. She said.
Oh, it's right next to this one.
It's on the other
Me
head.
too.
It's on the other head.
Me too.
I'm gonna save these videos, okay? 'Cause, I don't know, but I did. You know, I played one a couple of weeks ago. I think when men ask a woman what they bring to the table. I don't remember. I think I played that, right? This young lady was talking about.
Yeah, that whack one.
Whack.
I think it was that. Not that. It was one you played. She was talking some whack stuff.
Hold on, is it this one?
So I hear a lot of men asking, well, what do you bring to the table? And
She said it's that one.
That was whack.
That wasn't whack. She was right.
You like
Hey, send me
what
that.
she said. We
Send me
didn't
that
like what she
video, bro. I
said.
wanna hear it. Hey, play it for me real quick, bro.
I hear a lot of men asking, well, what do you bring to the table? And women are now so attractive and, you know, making money and all these things. So we feel like, well, that automatically makes me a good catch. Look at me, I'm attractive and I make some money. Do you understand that even if you have a good paying job, a man will walk past your 6-figure making self and as attractive as you are and go to the mugly girl at Burger King because she knew how to be his piece and how to give him what he really was looking for? It doesn't matter what you make. Men don't care. When men ask you, what do you bring to the table? They're simply asking, do you know how to be my peace? Will you listen to me? Will you encourage me? Will you help me to pursue my dreams and to be a better man and a human being? Are you compassionate? Are you kind? Are you loving? Are you nurturing? Will you pray with me? Will you pray for me? I'm out here fighting the world. I don't want to come home and fight with you too. If I'm going to fight, I hope that you'll fight with me and fight for me. Are you going to be everything that I need? Because at the end of the day, what I'm really looking for is peace and stability. They will walk past everything if you're not that.
She whack.
I got a question, Dana. What's whack? Wait, hold on, Dana. What's whack about that?
She whack.
Dana, what's whack about that? What's whack about that?
That's what she was saying. What you bring to the table.
No, what you mean? No, why don't it make sense?
No.
It made a lot of sense, Jada.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did. Look.
Roberta,
if a man has money, if a man has cars, if a man has everything in life and has to come home and don't have peace of mind in the household.
Well, no, that's not all she said, though. That's not all that she said.
That's pretty much what I was talking about.
What do you bring to the table? What does that woman bring to the table?
But every time we ask the woman what they bring to the table, what's the first thing they bring up? Financially.
Yeah.
They don't bring, yo, I'm gonna be your shoulder that you can cry on. You can talk to me about anything. It's never about peace of mind.
I'm not gonna bring up financially because I'm not gonna put my finances out there in the beginning anyway.
Gina, be my peace.
It's not even in the beginning. It's not even in the beginning. It's not even in the beginning though.
Yeah, I think I brought this up on another show when I talked about mingling finances before marriage.
It was last week.
I don't believe in that.
But so you bring up finances after marriage?
I said mingling finances. You should talk about it. It should be a conversation. But Robert and I right now, we're not married. We don't have joint bank accounts.
You're not supposed to.
Right.
But if you're talking to someone and y'all are really deep in a conversation of being together and y'all talking about marriage and you ask what's brought to the table and it's not peace of mind, or even if you're just talking about being with one another, if it's not peace of mind, what is the relationship about? Like we fight in the street.
That's just a piece of what she said. I mean, that made sense, but that other stuff, what are you bringing to the table? No. And that contradicts what you guys said earlier when you said that man is marrying that woman because he feels he has stability, he can take care of. So why are you asking me what I'm bringing to the table?
But see, that's and that's exactly what I'm talking about. See, when we're talking about it right now, what are you talking about? Stability. Stability is what? Financial. You're not talking about, oh, I'm going to be your peace of mind. I'm going to be your best friend. I'm going to be your shoulder to cry on. You can cry on my shoulder. You can talk to me about anything. All that stuff has nothing to do with money.
Well, why is he asking what the woman is bringing to the table if he's going to provide for her?
No, it's not. See, that's what but that's what I'm saying, Gina. You're talking about financials. Providing it's very
emotional, spiritual stability as well. So I think that's what Chris is trying.
You know what? When she was talking about,
but that's not what I got from what you was saying.
You can have brains, and he gonna go to the woman at Burger King.
No, that's not. No. But from a woman's standpoint, y'all took it in the wrong way. Y'all took it in a way. Okay,
you're probably gonna interpret it differently from a woman.
Yeah,
you can interpret it differently from how we interpret it.
Wait. You know, wait. You know how y'all interpret it? Y'all interpret it as if y'all were saying it. That's not what she. The thing about it, I bet you the four. Hey, look, I bet you the three other men on here understood exactly what she was saying.
Oh yeah, I did.
I understood exactly what she was saying.
You're.
I still said what she was saying was whack.
No, it wasn't.
Dang,
no,
Gina.
So you know what it is, Gina? What she's saying is just because you have six figure in your bank account, you're fine as ever. If you're a headache, a man will walk right past you and go to a woman that works at Burger King because she is his piece of mind.
She could be a headache too. A broke ass headache.
But that's not. But see, that's what I'm saying. You're talking about financials. That's not what she was talking about. She said just because you're bringing to the table,
but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what figure you make. It does not matter. That does not make a person. It does not matter what figure you make, whether you got six figures or whether you got $6 from Burger King.
But if you're peace of mind, that's what she was talking about.
You could be a peace of mind with six figures.
You can put a price.
You can, but you can also be a headache because you don't need a man for nothing.
Right.
So
and
now
you can be a headache, making busting your butt at Burger King.
So now you're trying to
the thing that got me with what she said. She's categorizing women based on how much money they make. So in other words,
no.
You're gonna be a headache. You're gonna have this big head no man can deal with.
This. All she's saying was that a man wants a woman to be his peace. That's basically what the whole.
That's not all she said.
That's what she said.
That's not all she said.
She just gave the.
That's not all I heard.
Gina,
that's what I'm saying. You interpret it as if you were saying it. What she said was, no matter how much money you make, as long as you are a man's piece, he will most definitely consider you as being his one. That's all.
P-E-A-C-E piece.
Exactly.
P-I-E-C-E too.
Greg, I could be your piece. I could bring you some. It's a real nice steel. It got a real nice cut to it. The weight on it is not that bad.
Absolutely. I would accept that.
That was a good one, right?
Did that go over your head?
Look, you see, I didn't say nothing. That went way over his head. I ain't want no parts of that.
Hey, Chris, it didn't go over my head. Nyla, no, I ain't paying no attention to her.
No, because he said it first. Y'all missed it. He said it first. He said
that went over my head.
P-I-E-C-E. I was there already. I already know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he already knew.
That's good. That's my baby sister though. So look, Gina, for you, look there to say play it again. Hold on, y'all.
So I hear a lot of men asking, well, what do you bring to the table? And women are now so attractive and, making money and all these things. So we feel like, well, that automatically makes me a good catch. Look at me, I'm attractive and I make some money. Do you understand that even if you have a good paying job, a man will walk past your six-figure making self and as attractive as you are and go to the muggly girl at Burger King because she knew how to be his piece and how to give him what he really was looking for? It doesn't matter what you make. Men don't care. When men ask you, what do you bring to the table? they're simply asking, do you know how to be my peace? Will you listen to me? Will you encourage me? Will you help me to pursue my dreams and to be a better man and a human being? Are you compassionate? Are you kind? Are you loving? Are you nurturing? Will you pray with me? Will you pray for me? I'm out here fighting the world. I don't want to come home and fight with you too. If I'm going to fight, I hope that you'll fight with me and fight for me. Are you going to be everything that I need? Because at the end of the day, what I'm really looking for is peace and stability. They will walk past everything if you're not that.
Mugly.
Yeah, that's all she said, Gina.
Hey, look,
Maybe I feel like it's a bit one-sided.
No, and you know the main thing.
One-sided.
You know
So I
the
can't
main
get.
thing. You know the main thing she said. You know the main thing she said, and it was at the very beginning.
At the beginning,
she said, "Women think just because I'm fine and make 6 figures, I'm a good catch."
Right.
That's the main thing of the whole thing she said.
Mm-hmm.
That was it right there. And then she went on to explain, okay, you can be fine, you can have 6 figures, and can still be a headache. You can think that you're the man of the household because you're making 6 figures. So why would I come fight with you when I can be chilling with a peace of mind?
Okay, that's how you interpret her. I stand on what I said.
Well, maybe
I stand on what I said because I didn't get any of that out of what she said, other than I make 6 figures. I'm very pretty, and I didn't have a whole lot of men walking past me.
He didn't say she made 6
I'm
figures.
going to Burger King.
He didn't say she made 6 figures.
Can I say this?
Go ahead.
Ultimately, it's like I say all the time, at the end of the day, both parties want the exact same thing. So that same peace of mind, do you pray for me? Will you love me? Will you be able to talk to me? Will you be able to tell when I wake up at the middle of the night? There we go, Vanessa. It goes both ways. That's all I'm saying. Because at the end of the day,
But she didn't present it to me like it was going both ways.
It wasn't. It's coming from the instant of
it was coming.
Okay, it's coming from the instance of a woman that thinks just because she's fine and makes a lot of money that she's a good catch. That's why you see a lot of single, wealthy women.
I give her the.
You know what? You see a lot of single wealthy women because a lot of men are intimidated by them.
No,
yes.
Yes. You know, I think that a lot of from what I get from guys, guys are afraid of women that are pretty like that because they're high maintenance. That's what I've gotten from guys.
Now that can be a part of it, but you know another thing. You know another thing. A man will love a woman that makes more than he makes.
Oh yes.
A real man.
A man will love a woman that makes more than he makes.
Look, then it says, some feel if you can't pray for me, you can't hold me down.
Exactly. I mean, you have to be a united force. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm fighting,
and you don't have to be broke to be a united force.
It ain't the same thing. If I have to fight in these streets, if I have to fight to make it home and then fight when I make it home, it's not it's hard on me.
And she focused more on from the male's point of view. She really did. She wasn't trying to be biased. She really proved her point, which is why the 3 males, we see it, because really tell you the truth, that's what I want for my woman. You know what I mean? I want her to go ahead. When I come, I want to be cool. You know?
But what about that 6-figure woman that now a man will think, well, she's not a good catch because, you know, she's going to be problem. She's going to be this, she's going to be that, because most people, and I'm not just going to say men, most people feel like a woman that can hold their own, make 6 figures, that they are just so independent they can't be with anybody. They can't be with anybody.
I have my friend, my business partner. My business partner is very independent. She do her own thing. She owns 3 businesses, and she be holding down. Now, when a lot of men do say they feel that they can't measure up to her, but time and time again, I'm gonna tell you what my friend always tell these men: I'm not looking for that from you. She said, you put that in your head. You need to trust what I'm telling you. I'm not looking for you to be on that level as me as far as financials, all that. That's not what she on. She can take care of herself, do her own thing.
But Jeff, why should she have to tell them that?
But because the thing is, men do get intimidated.
Yes,
hey Jeff, I don't feel it's intimidation. I feel that men feel that they have to be on a certain level, or
And
they can take care of themselves and someone else.
That's
And
it.
a lot of men don't get into situations because they feel they're not financially stable to do a whole lot of things with that woman.
But when I was
So
dating,
I'm gonna give you a prime. Can I give you a prime example? Hey, Greg, I don't want to see the look on your face after I say this. All right.
Before
But
you say it.
so my girl right now that I'm with right now, she makes 6 figures. She's a traveler.
Oh, how you gonna freeze up when you're talking? Hold on, you froze.
But
she's a. You
I'm
said
froze.
she
y'all didn't get that dope.
No,
Y'all didn't get that dope. Y'all didn't get that DopelivenTV news real quick.
Not at all. You said she's 6 figure.
What did you hear?
She's 6 figure women, and then you froze.
Oh.
And she's
so y'all didn't hear my girl. Y'all didn't hear the part when I said my girl. Y'all didn't hear that part, huh?
I heard that part. I heard that part.
So what I was saying was she's 6 figures. She makes 6 figures easy. Like I'm talking about within 3 months she can make 6 figures because she's a traveling nurse. But she's also my piece. It's not about anything that I have to bring to the table. It's like conversations that we have. It's conversations that we have as best friends. Then having conversations of, okay, can you do this? Can you do that? She don't need me for any of that. I don't need her for any of that on my end. You know what I'm saying?
You're okay with that, Chris?
Yeah, I'm very okay with that because most of the time I try to when I was trying to talk to women, they wanted me for who I am and what I can do for them, and not for the person that I am.
Exactly.
That's one of the main reasons why.
It's reversed with a woman. It's more of I don't measure up, or she's not on my caliber. And I went through that when I was dating. When I was dating, I actually had men to tell me, "Oh, I'm not good for you because I'm looking at your pictures and I see you in Jamaica or North America or whatever." But I'm a down to earth person. You didn't even get to know me. I'm a down to earth person, and I'm not a flashy person. I'm not judgmental, but because they saw the things I was doing and the things that I had and the jewelry I had on, they felt intimidated. They felt like, you're not on my caliber. You're too high up for me.
And see, when you asked the question, why would you have to explain that, Gina, earlier? That's exactly why you have to explain that to a man.
I'm not going to explain it to anybody, though, Jeff.
I don't mean it like that, Gina. No, I don't mean it in a way where you have to tell somebody what you're doing, or you have to. What I mean is like, see, when people date,
all right. Call me when you get to the
house. People date, you get an understanding for why they do things and how they do it. I'm not saying you have to explain yourself to a man. Let's just bring it down a little bit. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that things can be talked about in a way to where if a man or a woman does feel that way, it could be a discussion. You don't have to feel like that you out here explaining yourself to somebody. It can be a discussion. I had a discussion like that with my ex. My ex looked at me and she said, "Jeff, I thought that you was that I wouldn't be good enough for you." But I told her, you know what? I wasn't looking at all of that extra. I was looking at what you could bring me here. And here, we had to have a conversation for her to understand that. Because if we never had that conversation, she probably would have carried that weight. And I don't want to put that pressure on who I'm carry that way. Now it's different when you do meet somebody who's on the same level as you.
Yeah.
As y'all talking, you saying, "Oh, we do move alike. We do stuff like that." So see, now we on the same playing field. There's no level of intimidation. There's no level of, "Oh, well, this person has more than me, male or female wise." It's understood. All I'm saying, Gina, is that a conversation can be had. You don't have to. Don't take it as explaining yourself to somebody. Take it as we getting to know each other a little bit better. So.
But a lot of men didn't even they wouldn't even let it get that far.
Yeah, that's what she's saying. She's saying a lot of men won't even approach a woman in that because they've categorized them based on what they see. See, it's different. We understand what you're saying. Yes, that conversation should be had, but it won't get to a conversation because Men do this thing, everybody, people in general, do this thing where they put people in categories based on what they see. I see you have this type of lifestyle on on social media or whatever. I see you talk to these type of people. I see you carry yourself this way. You dress like this way. You talk like
Right.
this. You work
That
at this
actually
job.
happened. That actually happened to me.
And they won't even approach, but they'll tell you. That's the difference. They won't approach you, but they'll let you know. Because I've had it happen to me. Whether it's you too pretty, or oh no you out my league, or you too, or you make too much money. That's a real thing.
Okay, but that person ain't for you then. That's when you scratch off. That's not for you.
Let you know, like they won't approach you, but they'll let you know, like, yeah, I wouldn't talk to you because this, and then maybe y'all end up as friends or whatever the case may be. It won't even get to that point. I know exactly what she's talking about. But
well, I was speaking to the fact of what I was speaking to what she actually said, though. I was speaking to what she said. I wasn't trying to look deeper. I was speaking to actually what she said, not to it actually not going to that point. See, that's a choice. I didn't know that's what she meant until she actually said most men won't make it get that far. I didn't know that's what she was actually speaking to. You know what I mean? Until that was actually said. That's not what I was talking about. I was talking about in the beginning, you know, trying to get a justification because that's why it was so open and how I said it. Because that's what I was referring to. I was referring to the beginning, the dating, getting to know. We honed in on it when you made your comment, and then it was just said that way. But it was not, I'm just being real. The only reason why I addressed it like that, because it wasn't delivered to me that way. So, you know, we had to pull that out now once you got in. You know what I mean? That got pulled out once you got in. Just letting you know.
Absolutely. So Roberta says, I just think a man loves a woman that's tapped into her feminine side and doesn't mind being soft and there when he needs her emotionally. I agree with everything that everybody has said. And I hope that we kind of gave a good opinion to people that are watching. We taught some people some things. This lady.
So I hear a lot of men asking.
I'm going to send that to Gina.
No, thank you.
So she can understand what we talking about there.
You can pass that to somebody else.
Send that to Gina. And
man, because I want to talk to my Megan about that. I want to see what she.
I'll send it to you as well. No problem. Chris, final words, dude. Hold on. Hold your words. Maurice just popped off. Gina's final.
I don't like nobody. No words.
It's over. Go ahead. What?
What I do want to say, if you want to propose to your man, go ahead and do it.
You hold to see. I like you, Gina. You sticking to your guns though, at least though, girl.
Man, when Gina go in, Gina go in. Okay.
Yeah, you stick to your.
Who, me? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. I just think that you know, not to get preachy though, but the Bible is the handbook to everything, you know, and the more we try to make things work for us and not go by it, that's when we get all messed up, and you wonder why you are all messed up, you know. But I just think traditional ways are best. The therapy and the counseling and stuff like that works that way, and I just think that tradition is best. So I'm still gonna have me a wedding with about 100 people, but he downsized me by 200.
Handle that, man. I'm gonna get $1. Hey, Nyla.
I just need Chris, and Greg to stay on after this. That's all. Thank you.
Who you want to stay on, Nyla?
You, Greg, and Chris. I gotta talk to y'all about something.
Yeah.
Hey man, you know I love the dynamics of the conversation that we had.
Okay.
I mean, I love how you know, like I said, Greg, I love what you do, man, and I like how you get all the minds together and we able to talk and we can share opinions, share views. Nobody's offended. You know what I mean? It's a great thing, man, because you know you got everybody on the platform, and I love how we can stick to our guns, and you know we still respectful. You know what I mean? So much love on that front, man, and the respect. And the thing is that, you know, go out here, people, make it a great day for you. You know what I mean? Do your thing. Live your best life. You know what I mean?
Every day.
And I want to thank you, Greg, for allowing me to use your platform to still talk spiritual, but at least it to people in a way to where it's not too big or not too small, but we can still hit people. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I ain't telling you got to follow and listen to what I'm saying, or that's gospel, or that's right. But I'm just trying to get you to, you know, tie it all in together as one. You know what I mean? So I appreciate it. I really do.
And to have a professional on here that can generate the emotions and everything like you do, it's a blessing to us as well. So, bro, look, again, this is your platform as well, man. You do whatever you got to do, say whatever you got to say, is yours. We appreciate you being on here with us, Jeff.
Thank you.
Yes.
Chris.
Hey, I missed y'all. That's all I can say.
Chris.
I think I got a subject for tomorrow, but I think it might make some people mad.
Bring it on. I don't.
If it's going to enlighten people,
no, it's gonna make some people mad if I.
Oh, we talk about it.
Look, if you put it up, it's gonna make some people mad.
It's what it is, bro. I mean, if people are gonna get mad from people's opinions, it is what it is. You know, you don't know where I live at. So anyway, hey, but unfortunately, Chris, this is probably my last show. I've been tapped to do a talk show on NBC out in Michigan, and it's been I'm lying. Anyway,
I'm ready to say it. Wait a minute, don't be dropping the bomb like that on air.
Hey,
you need to take us behind the scenes with something like that. I don't know where you live.
Hey, Greg, you see who your real friends are. You see how everybody else got mad, and what did I say? Congratulations, bro. That's what you're supposed to do. See that? Did you see that? You and people.
No, he better not drop a bomb like that in a setting like this.
And if I drop a bomb
after this show is over,
if I drop a bomb like that in a segment like this, I'm leaving the audience. But you guys are just supposed to act just like Chris acted, and like Jeff did. Y'all
congratulations, bro.
Jeff looking like. Wait till the show is over.
hey, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of that episode of Arsenio Hall show after he aired Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it reminded me of. I was just like, hey, yo, congratulations, brother. That's all I can say.
When I stopped doing 925 music videos, man, we was in Kentucky, and we were all in the hotel room celebrating a milestone with the show. And I got on there and said, hey, look, this is my last show. You may not see me here, but you will see me. And that was it. I was done. And when it's time to walk away, it's time to walk away.
No, most definitely.
But right now, man, the love that I got right here with this family of people that we have right here is tremendous. I ain't going no place. All right, ain't going no place. Jeff, man, dude, you gonna be here tomorrow?
Oh yeah, I'll be on tomorrow, bro.
Definitely.
I just want to add that I really. The way you talk about your wife, like I said, I thought that your relationship was years and years in. Like Maurice, we know Maurice has been with his wife for a very long time, and I thought that you were with your wife for like years and years on end. And to hear it's been 9 months, and the way you talk about her and the respect that you have and the love that you present, it's very impressive. I had to say that. I just had to say
and we calling your wife, and they ain't even married yet. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, and you know one thing, like Jeff, is this your first time being married?
This is my second time. This will be my second.
Hey, you learn from your mistakes from the first time, what not to do this time.
That's it, sir.
And it's exactly what it is. It's a learned lesson.
Yeah.
That's what he did. Jeff, you the truth, bro. I appreciate you.
I'm grateful that y'all see that, because I always tell people I want me and my wife's story to be a testimony to other people that anything, you know what I mean? And you could be in love, you know what I mean? You have a second chance. You don't have to succumb to the shortcomings, you know what I mean, that you go the first time, yo. It's somebody out there for you. And I just want me and my wife's story to just help somebody.
Well, let me enlighten you with this one. Did you not? Well, I'm sure you knew though, but marriage initially was supposed to be for the strongest people. Married people were supposed to be pillars in the community. They were supposed to be the people that you could go to if you had issues or problems, because they were the ones that weathered the storms. They were the ones that knew how to solve problems. They were the ones that knew how to live and do things they were supposed to do. So they were very admired back in the day. So I see that in you as well, and I congratulate you. I didn't know it's only been 9 months. I thought it was like 9 years.
Hey, that's the truth. We the truth, y'all. That's Jeff, okay? But it is 9:29. Can I leave now?
Nope. Nope. We got one more minute.
Anyway, I have
backstage.
my final comment is this, all right? We see y'all tomorrow, okay? It's DopelivenTV Live. We love everybody. I hope we look, the conversations are getting better and better, okay? So y'all join us, all right? And tell your friends to come through. We got Jeff Relaford, the coach, the life coach on it. We got Nyla, the financial expert. We got Chris Lane, who went to the ball game and didn't tell nobody, okay? We got Suzette with Simply Suzette. We got the author, Jenny Jackson. And just little old me, okay? This is DopelivenTV. And shout out to
He's the one that flips the switches.
That's all I do is flip switch, press button, okay? Like the one I'm getting ready to press right now. We see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.